Hello, everybody. Welcome to the UFC. My name is Lobo. I am joined at the caster's desk today by our wonderful guest, Mr. Hyde. Jonathan Hyde is his full name. Welcome to the UFC, my guy. How are you doing this wonderful morning here for me in the OCE region? But it must be afternoon for you. How you doing? Welcome to the UFC. I can imagine you are excited to get some of this red hot EU action up and running.
Oh, I am very excited. You'd think being 3 in the afternoon, I would have had time to sleep, but I haven't been because I've just been so energized and like giddy that I get to come on here and get to cast with everybody. And it's Fight Club. It's the UFC. Like, who doesn't want to do this? So I'm excited to see what our teams are going to be coming in and doing today, because if everything has been showing up all up to this point, it is going to be wild.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. We've got a little bit of a special format for you guys going on today. Usually we do 2 best of 5s, but we have got something different. It's our open series, the mid-season of season 1, which means we've got 8 teams. We've got 2 groups, and we've got a whole lot of Unite action for you. Instead of a best of 5, they're going to be doing a best of 2 this time around, and instead every game they win, they're going to get a single point, and whoever has the most points at the end of today, as you'll see momentarily, we split these teams up into 2 groups. Whoever has the most points in these groups are gonna go on to Thursday, where they will take part in the finals, and we'll see how it goes. But you don't have to take my word for it. We're going to show you guys what we got. So let's bring up that schedule. Production, if you could please, it would be very, very nice. I think we're going to show you guys the groups. Oh, no, the schedule first. Here we go. We got Los Duros versus Mia Familia. We got Big or No versus Los Caracuros. We got Thank You Next versus No Follow. And we got Mia Familia versus the Electro Drifters. A lot of really, really good teams right now, Hyde. Los Duros, Mia Familia, that first match out the gate is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it is. I'm excited to see what kind of Pokemon they're going to be bringing in today. We got a lot of brilliant all-rounders on the list that we've got released that were over the last 2 months. We have Palma, Empoleon, Mega Lucario, Mega Charizard X. We've got lots of options as well for them to go into, but also we had some patch notes there that buffed that Blaziken, bringing it back into the top. Empoleon got a little bit dethroned. The Emperor might not be the king anymore. And oh my gosh, it's going to be crazy to see how they bring in some of these supporters. One of the beautiful things about supporters is you don't always have to play them as a supporter. Mr. Mime is a secret all-rounder tank. Latias is a secret attacker. And let's just say Hoopa can do a little bit of everything.
I mean, that little trickster is one of the most popular picks right now going into Pokemon Unite. But let's have a look at how these teams have been split up into groups. If we have a lovely little graphic for you there. Here we go. Group 1 and 2 divided. Los Duros, MTZ Esports, Mia Familia, and Electro Drifters heading out. Group 1. Group 2 has got No Follow, Los Caracuros, Big or No, and Thank You Next. So the top 2 teams from each of these groups, depending on how many points they are able to secure, are gonna take them through to day 2. That's coming up on Thursday. We talked about it before. That patch notes did drop. We have the supporters are taking the limelight, especially as my lovely co-caster did mention. Latias has come to the forefront, but alongside Eldegoss, which has become one of the most popular supporters going right now, especially to assist that top lane, which is usually occupied by that big, beefy bug, Buzz Swole. Cannot wait to see what we bring, but hi, we have got a special rule here at the UFC, and it is called Fearless Draft. Let me explain it to you, my friend. Here we go, our lovely graphic that we bring up every single day. If you don't know what Fearless Draft is by now, yeah, best get to studying. Match 1, you select 5 Pokemon, you select a comp, your defenders, your all-rounders, your tanks, your attackers, and your supporters. Now, accompanied by those bands, you get to play those 5 Pokemon. However, in match 2, all of the Pokemon that you selected in that game number 1 plus the bands are completely off the table. You must pick up a completely new roster of 5 Pokemon. Now, if you thought that was going to be hard, wait until you get to the other matches, because when we go a full best of 5, you are not allowed to play up to 20 different Pokemon, including the 3 bands. Now, Hyde, this is a new rule set that only comes up when we're here in the UFC. What do you make of the Fearless Draft? How do you like it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Give me your thoughts on it.
Fearless Draft is an amazing concept, and I love to see it implemented into gameplay. And a best of 5 is the real true way to bring it out, because you have your staple Pokemon, which people can bring in game 1, game 2. You see your standard play in the best of 3. You got to out the same Pokemon over and over, but you can't do that in Fearless Draft. You have to come up with different creative strategies. You have to know more than just 5 or 6 Pokemon. You got to know the entire roster. You have to understand you have to make trades. You have to understand when to make those trades as well. Do you take Blissey in game number 1, or do you try to wait until game 3 and be like, all right, now that we've seen more of what the other team can't use, maybe now is the time to take this Pokemon or that Pokemon. Maybe Miraidon works here, Blissey works there, maybe Darkrai is the secret tech. You never know. So trying to bait this out, playing these cat and mouse mind games while also trying to play your own and establish your own strategy, it's just so much going on for it, and I love the idea of it.
I mean, it's such a good concept. I mean, I might be a little biased here considering I've been here for the entire time of UFC. I love the Fearless Draft because it just shows you the entire Pokemon pool that we've got here right now in Pokemon Unite. Now, Unite has its ups and downs. It has its criticisms. It's got its naysayers. But however, Hyde, we are looking at almost 78 Pokemon that are possibly able to be picked throughout their entire roster, which is absolutely insane. And being able to see almost all of them, especially throughout the UFC, I think there might be one Pokemon that we haven't seen at all been picked up. And again, we have seen these players make some of the most creative decisions that we have seen. However, we're going to go straight into match 1, Los Duros versus Mia Familia. These guys, they've played against each other before. Some of our favorite players are on this team, especially Danny, Louise, and Oscar from the side of Los Duros. Nat, Relly, and Gunner on the side of Mia Familia are absolutely no joke either. But we've got the first all-rounder being picked up with Mega Lucario getting that top spot. Venusaur, Armorage, Empoleon, plus Blastoise, Leafeon, and Suicune getting banned up. The pig duo of Blissey and Mew going first to Mia Familia.
Yeah, but it looks like Albert Noah is going to be looking to grab in that Hoopa there, while Rob's looking to drag in that Tyranitar. Oh, the guys! I'll tell you right now, if that Tyranitar makes it in, I am gonna go absolutely ape, because let me tell you, I love that Pokemon. But I'm getting baited, Lobo, because that is a Darkrai.
I mean, come on, man. Look, if I can't say that's happened to me before, I gotta wait for that timer to scroll all the way down. But I do like the Darkrai pick. I have been playing it a little bit in ranked as well. The nightmares and the sleeps. I mean, we all love a good nap, but Darkrai can make those beautiful naps turn into their worst nightmare. Louisen is the person to do it. Relly's going to pick up Blaziken. We talked about Blaziken. Why did this Pokemon need to get buffed? It was so strong right now, but it is sitting on that throne of the all-rounder picks. Gunner going to go pick up with probably one of the best defenders right now, the big, thick boy, Snorlax, and Danny hovering over that Inteleon. Snipe Shot's going to rain down onto Thea Sky Ruins, but it looks like we're going to wait for this final pick, and it is Talonflame, a nice strategic choice to get away from Darkrai and get to Louisen in that back line.
Yeah, but I think that Umbreon is going to be really crucial for Los Duros here because it's going to be able to lock that Blaziken down with Mean Look, lock the Talonflame down with Mean Look, and just completely shut these Pokemon down, put them in a room, put them on a timeout, and allow this Inteleon to get a nice snipe shot in, or allow Lucario to dive in and grab it with a close combat power-up punch combo, or even allow the Darkrai to go in and put it to sleep if that Blaziken's not in overheat.
No, I agree with you. And look, that combination that we've got going on right now is a strong one. It's going to be a very, very fun all-rounder battle between Blaziken and Lucario. Lucario with the ability to Mega Evolve once it hits that Unite move into that Aura Cannon is going to go Mega, and those close combats are going to be able to heal a great deal amount. But Blaziken, not too slouchy as well. The cooldown time is especially going to be able to keep it nice and fit. But let's make sure we've got that Blissey, and we know the one speciality that Blissey has, it's keeping their teammates alive. But this is all going to counter to see if Umbreon can separate the supporters from their all-rounders, and if Louisian can take advantage and put them to sleep. But that all-rounder battle is one that we have to really keep an eye on. But Danny on that Inteleon going up against probably one of their favorite Pokemon in the Alolan Raichu. That attacker battle is one to watch out for as well. As we head on into Thea Sky Ruins, Blaziken and Darkrai, your central laners for this game number 1.
Yeah, Blaziken, I'm not surprised. You want to get it up to that level 5, and if Lucario is going to be up in the top side there, especially the Mega variant, secure on those wild Pokemon is going to be your issue. So sending it in to make sure you get that level 5 is going to be great. But also great is the Mew with the Electro Ball secure.
I mean, Mew and Snorlax are two of the best secures early game. Talonflame in a little bit of bother here because Lucario can be so oppressive in that top lane. Early scores 9-8. These guys just want to get some stacks on. These Nachos are going to come through as well. I think they got a nice share of the pie in that one, but Darkrai is going to head it to the top side. Blaziken went to the bottom side as well, but nope, here's Louisian going to do a 180 before these Altarias decide to spawn. Going to try and take some of those Nachos, but Louisian going on a little trip before they make it down bottom.
Yeah, we got 3 people waiting for those 850 bursts. Altarias and Swablues are back in. The Darkrai is here. It is a 3v3 scenario. Blaziken has to pull back out. Poor little Combuskin is on half HP. They're diving around and trying to get that HP back as quickly as possible on pad, but just as quickly as it started, that push ended.
I mean, Hooper sending everybody back alongside the assistance of Lucario, and now Los Duros have decided to push the pressure and go straight on in to the enemy team's central area with Oscar leading the way. Going to use that Dark Void to punish the Mew, but Mew probably has one of the fastest base stats. Beautiful work by Albanoa to send Louisian away. The last person you want to get taken down on your team is your central laner, and Hooper is going to pay the price for this one because Fletchinder's going to pick up a nice quick KO.
Not only did the Hoopa save the Darkrai, but they managed to stay up long enough to also save the Umbreon on a completely different part of the map. That is dedication. Give that guy a raise. But the Regidrago is going to go to the Mew here for Mi Familia there. Talonflame's going to go for a nice quick score. We're going to get the evolution. Talonflame, a real character, but taken down.
Oh man, Albanoa, you gotta watch out for the tricks. So there's the Mean looking to catch Snorlax out. Gunner has to try and heavy slam away. Blaziken is in there with the overheat. He's not gonna get any kind of sleep put onto it that time around by Louisa, but that Dark Void is hitting hard, and there's the Solar Beam also hitting hard as well. There's the, I believe it was the Darkrai once again. They're going in, but Talonflame has gone in. A big summer KO on the Umbreon. There goes Darkrai's putting everyone to sleep. Mew goes to sleep. Blaziken trying to hit the overheat, but Louisian is just too hard to catch right now. And the pressure is on this tier 1 as we're waiting for these objectives. Danny's just hitting these snapshots from downtown, and that's exactly what both teams wanted to see. Hyde, that's a Registeel on the board for the first objective.
Yeah, and already Los Duros is saying, hey, we want this, we need this, we're going to take it, but they respect the Talonflame. They see it there and they know it's a problem there, so they're getting that Darkrai on it. They're going straight for it. It's asleep. Can they take it down? There it goes, taken down, sent back to Nurse Joy. We have Albernoa going back to base with a nice hyperspace hole there coming in, but we do still have the Darkrai. Low HP, can they get the KO? No, they can't. Nice snipe shots coming up from that Inteleon there. Another hyperspace portal going to save their team.
Danny has got their glasses on and they are hitting these snipe shots like they are nothing. Registeel still on the board. Louisin getting healed by the Wish coming out from the Umbreon, as well as being sent back to home to heal full up by the Hooper as well. Mew trying to beam steal away, trying to cause a little bit of spoiler by Mia Familia, but no, Registeel goes to the side of Los Duros, and now they're going to push onto this pad. They've got the assistant to Lucario, who is just stacking in that top lane. They're going to pull out the Aura Cannon into the Mega Evolution, and that's a 2 KO streak coming out for the side of Los Duros. Only Mew is available, but gets caught by the worst nightmare of Darkrai. And now they have a chance to break this pad and take a very substantial lead as we head to that midway point of this game. Hyde, Los Duros looking very strong.
Very strong indeed. Level 12 on that Mega Lucario. Meanwhile, anybody on Mia Familia can only be dreaming of power levels such as that. Blaziken's trying to get close. We're going to hit level 10 off of this Altaria there. So they're going to grab that, but the Oscatar's already diving in with the Mega Lucario. They're saying, hey, we got this there, but the Blissey with the quick safeguard allows the Talonflame to get out of there. Hoopa Hyperspace is going to come in, a nice engage there from the Snorlax. Block comes up, but it's not enough.
A beautiful Brave Bird tried it to back everybody off on Los Duros. Mew got hit with a big snipe shot that just missed it. 249 to 36. Umbreon finds Blaziken trying to do a little sneaky sneak to go down into that basement lane. But however, Darkrai trying to find Blaziken with the Dark Void. Finishes it off as well with the boosted. Takes down Blaziken. Central lane battle going to Louisin right now. Snorlax is in a bit of bother. Lucario just doing their own thing in the top side. Blaziken comes in with a Brave Bird, takes out Louisin, has to pull out the Flame Sweep, but Danny gets the snipe shot away, takes down Snorlax as Los Duros are on the retreat right now, and Hooper decides to save itself, goes unbound, but sends itself back to the Pokemon Center.
That goes back indeed. Braver comes in from the Talonflame, though. They're getting on the Mega Lucario, but the Mega Lucario's close combat was way too much. Taken down. Oscatar's in a problem now. The Power Nap comes through and gets taken down by the Mew. Now it's just there. We have Rappo going there. We're trying to get through the hyperspace hole, and we make it through. Nice engage from the Snorlax there. Trying to kidnap with that block does not succeed. Meanwhile, our Reggie in the bottom here is still just up being like, guys, I'm right here. What's going on?
Unfortunately, Reggie Ice is probably one of the least effective Reggies that these teams want to see, but for Blissey, that Reg Ice is going to be a godsend because of it. There's the Azure Spy Vision is going to come out from Danny as well. Those crits are going to hurt like anything. Darkrai has, with the combination of Hooper, has found Talonflame. Aura Cannon takes down the Blissey, and Blaziken is the only one left and has no choice but to retreat as far back as their own pad. But Louisin is not going to give up the hunt on this one and goes for the worst nightmare. Blaziken does survive, but still gets taken down. Louisin does a beautiful job dodging the Brave Bird and gets caught inside that mean look. And Umbreon, they faked the reset, but they didn't take it. Brave Bird does a big amount of damage. Now Louisin is facing down 4 members of Los Duros, but they just do not care. He's just going to put those Dark Voids on. Avoids the Hooper hyperspace hole for the reset. Trying to bait them. Brilliant job by Louisin there, faking out the return by the hyperspace hole, but just allowing more time for his teammates to reset into that basement lane.
Oscatar has been taken down a lot the last minute, 2 minutes there. That is a level 13 Darkrai, and that is a lot of experience to swing towards Mia Familia there. Already, we got that level 13 Mew, level 13 Talonflame here now, which again, crucial comeback experience as Mia Familia is now making a push into this bottom lane. They're saying, hey, look at the time. We see it there. Maybe we can go for pad. Now we see some people. Now we're going to grab position for Groudon spawning in 2 seconds.
I mean, there it is, the big green. I don't know what you call it. Is it a lizard? Is it just a dragon? It's the ground lizard. The red one has been enraged and sending those earths and rocks all over the map. 304 to 336. It is time. 2 minutes have passed on the clock, and Los Duros have just pushed Mia Familia completely out of this pit. Mew has to pop the Mystical Mirage, almost getting caught again as well. Gets caught by the Mean Look, but finished off by Lucario. Now the fight is on. Lucario goes into that Mega Form with the Azure Spy Vision. Popped Danny as well. Talonflame gets caught in the Mean Look. Everybody set back by Albanoa to get a little bit of fresh healing from Nurse Joy. Those snipe shots, and Blaziken is incredibly low, getting caught by the combination of Mean Look and Hooper. Groudon is dangerously low. Danny's fired up that snipe shot and does manage to sneak it just before Galnagana could try and get it with a heavy slam. Groudon goes to Los Duros. Let's see if those Hundo Burgers can come on into that pad.
I mean, the top side's already gone, and Talion connects. Umbreon does too, and now Los Duros is making a push for the central pad. 50 seconds left on the clock here. Will Mia Familia be able to make it back? And with these point totals, I do not believe they have the time and the points on the map to be able to do it.
I mean, what, with 37 seconds to go, and you need 500 points, they just don't have the pockets. This is definitely, I mean, I don't like to talk in absolutes, but it feels like a game one going to the side of Los Duros, especially with all of those Groudon buffs. If they're able to secure a single Groudon buff, perhaps, but that is not the Pokemon. You wanted the Groudon buff to go to that little Blissey, but there's the Aura Cannon into the Mega Lucario. Just having a look at how long that close combat lasts for Hyde. It's such a long duration for a move that not only does damage, but heals as well, as Oscar finishes this match with a 3 KO streak. Game 1 to Los Duros. Wow, what a banger to open up our Engage UFC Fight Night.
Yeah, absolutely. What a game, what a set, what a match so far. Like, I mean, going into game number 2 now, you have to think, we don't have Mega Lucario, we don't have to deal with the Hoopa. These are a lot of powerful picks for Los Duros that are just off the table now. So Mia Familia still has a shot to come in and win game 2.
Absolutely, but have a look. Oscar with the 10 KOs, but Louisan sticking with that 9 and 250 points scored. Just not able to get a good foothold into this game where Mia Familia is such oppressive comp. Did Los Duros have 13 assists and 15 assists for Albanoa and Rops as well. Just a very smooth comp coming out from them, really supporting the style. Oscar can put everybody to sleep. Albanoa can stun them. Umbreon can trap them, and Louisan can come in and do the close combat damage. But let's not forget Danny. Also, those snipe shots were raining down. So unfortunately, just not a lot of control and suppression coming out from the side of Los Duros. Mia Familia had the bulk, they had the ability, but just unable to do anything up against a Umbreon and Hoopa supporter. My God, we like to take a minute to shout out the supporter and defender players because they are on their backs that Los Duros was able to calmly secure that, not losing a single pad in that fight.
Yeah, that Hoopa was absolutely devastating. And looking at the score here, that is exactly how that showed. Hoopa was able to pivot between the lanes, help their team stay up, and not just that, but keep the pressure on Mia Familia. They got one score of 36 early on, and they plateaued the rest of the game, unable to find an opportunity to go in. Even here on the replay here with these pushes, as we can see, Los Duros was doing an excellent job of either backing up when they needed to, and or just taking the pads when they saw the opportunity.
No, I agree with you. Look, we see a Registeel right now, which is the objective of choice in this push here. But again, Lucario coming in. Oscar was not really seen for most of these fights. They came in at the last minute, at that 5 minutes, to really help actually drive home their victory on this tier 1 on the basement side. But then it was mostly Louise just putting on the damage until Oscar got there. Oscar got 3 stacks. That Lucario was fully stacked in that top path because no one was there to hinder them at all. And it was just great gameplay. Louise, as a speedster, you want to be able to just go in and attack. But Darkrai is a very, very squishy Pokemon. Absolutely no fear shown on the Pokemon that is a fan of nightmares. And again, they tried on this back, but even Danny on their way down picking up KOs. But right here, again, they got the 4 KOs at the 3-minute mark before that final stretch. And again, unfortunately, Blaziken just had nowhere to go once you get caught in that worst nightmare. There's no real place that you can go. So I just have to admire the absolute control that we got shown by Los Duros.
Yeah, Los Duros did a really good job. Again, this entire game, controlling the map, controlling the experience, controlling the levels. They did get a few KOs from Mia Familia on that Darkrai. Oscar did go down. We got some nice comeback experience for them. And we did see triple 13s from them despite being behind on experience come the Groudon fight. So they did a really good job of prioritizing the farm, prioritizing experience, and knowing what their breakpoints were and what their goals should have been. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough.
No, look, and again, it's a great first game. Mia Familia do have a chance to come back and still secure a point to take them through to Thursday. Again, we are showing you games that are going to be on stream. A few games are going to be played off stream as well. So keep yourselves updated by following us over at INGAGE GG. All of the scores, all of the updates will be over there. But we're going to head on in to game number 2. Los Duros are going to stay on your purple side. Mia Familia going to stay on your orange side. Now, here's the interesting thing. Los Duros have opted to ban Mega Lucario and Darkrai right out of the gate, whereas Blastoise and Buzzwole are going to get banned. And this is the beautiful thing about Fearless Draft. You played these Pokemon, now you don't want them to be used against you.
Absolutely. You've seen them here. Now you know what they can do, and you don't want them on the other team there, so you just ban them out. Whether your first pick, whether your second pick in this. But we're going to see Suicune, Buzzwole, Blastoise, and Polion going to round out the third pick for Los Duros here, as Bordy is going to have first pick, looking to select possibly a Sableye, possibly Tyranitar. I mean, you could. Nah, we're going to get Eldegoss, the captain of the Cotton Guard, able to do a little bit of everything.
I mean, the Elder God is, again, one of mine and Tano's specifically favorite supporters right now. We've seen it come more into the forefront, specifically in the UFC. And even before that patch came live, the Guardians Awakening patch went live, that little Cotton Flower was picked quite a lot. And even those buffs to its stats right now make it such a viable supporter. But Robson Albanoa going to go for the defensive supporter combination. Crossel, everyone's fan favorite now after its showing at the Worlds tournament recently. It's such a fun Pokemon to watch, especially when you see how good that Pokemon can be at just being bulky and staying in your face. Venusaur is going to be picked up alongside Umbreon for the side of Mia Familia. Now, Mia, I mean, I think Umbreon is still very underrated as a defender. It's not picked up nearly as much as your Blastoises, as your Trevenants, and as your Snorlaxes, but it is such a strong defender supporter Pokemon coming through, especially with those wishes and possibly foul play and mean look.
Yeah, I think the nerf to its Unite move, the Moonlight Prance, absolutely rocked its faith in from a lot of players. Instead of stealing all of the shields, it only steals half of them. And going up against Pokemon like Blissey, like Crustle, only taking half those shields versus all of them is a very crucial difference there. But we get to see Luisin and Danny on that Leafeon Raichu combo. That's going to be a lot of damage coming out from Los Duros.
I think Oscar might be listening to you, my friend. Nope. We were baited once again. Tyranitar would be lovely to see. We have seen it played by Amara from MTZ Esports. We all popped off when we got to see that Tyranitar come to the forefront. But we're going to see another big dragon picked up by Oscar. That Garchomp that Unite move. It's such a strong Pokemon right now. Imagine if that thing's Mega Evolution came to Pokemon Unite, we'd all be fearing for our lives. Reli's going to pick up a day one Pokemon with that Cinderace, just having that range to stay away and A-Press, but also Pyro Ball's buff. It does an insane amount of damage, and that Blazing Bicycle Kick has the ability to do big area of effect damage. Louisian has to be very careful on that Leafeon, but Danny's going back to an old favorite that I love seeing them play. They're the inspiration for why I decided to pick up Alolan Raichu. To me, Alolan Raichu still is right now the best attacker in the game. It has the ability to dash. It has the ability to do crazy amounts of AoE damage. So you have to be aware of where you step. Game 2, looking like fireworks going to be flying on paper. Hyde, who are you giving it to?
Who am I giving it to? I mean, we have a more balanced cop on Los Duros, but the bravery to bring in triple attackers from Mia Familia, that's not something we do. But if you look at each one individually, there's a lot. We got Venusaur in the back. We got the A-Presser on Cinderace. And we have a nice pivot Pokemon that's able to peel zone with that Psychic Solaire on Espeon there. So as much as I hate to say it, I think Leafeon's is spoiled for choice, but because of that spoiled for choice, I think it's going to make the wrong one eventually, and Mia Familia is going to take this game.
I mean, what I want to see is, I'm very critical of Leafeon players because I want to see them do the thing. I want to see them take a buff and then head on into the enemy team's central area. The eject button has to come out very quickly from the Umbreon Galvanic Gunner, just with the pressure that even a Pikachu is able to put on in its Alolan form in this base melee is impressive. But there we go. Espeon is already online. Just the absolute craziness with these evolutions being able to evolve at level 4 and getting such a strong power spike at level 4 is what they want to see. Louisian is going to go in to that top lane as a Leafeon. Better watch out. This grass Pokemon is out for KOs, and it can do it, especially with that Razor Leaf build. Here we go. Middle Altaria is about to spawn. Cinderace and Bulbasaur and excuse me, Flores have to be aware, but Mia Familia have backup.
They do. It's a 4v3 push here. Blissey is online with a safeguard. They're looking to keep their team alive, and they successfully do that. Leafeon going back into the central path there to try to get more experience there. Umbreon holding the path in the bottom lane, doing an excellent job, keeping both the Crustle and the Raichu at bay.
I mean, that is a great job, but also Nia did a fantastic positional play, giving them that extra person in top lane, made sure that Louisian on that Leafeon couldn't run amok like Leafeon usually does on those first rotations after that first central lane. But here we have the helping hand into the Blissey as well, which is going to just make that Gabite so much stronger to do it. Going to try and scoop up the Ivysaur, but here we go. We've got Relly here on the Cinderace to try and help out. The reboot is here, but Louisian has seen everyone at low health. The Razor Leafs get tracked back. Picks up a KO on the Ivysaur. That's exactly what Los Duros wanted.
And just like that, Leafeon is level 7. They're not 8x8, but the level 7. They're almost level 8. And that is going to be crucial because that's going to be the first Unite move on the field if they're able to get this. And that Emerald 2-step is able to one-shot Espeon, Venusaur, or even this Cinderace, which is currently catching up to Crustle.
I mean, the Psyshock just missed. I thought the mean look was going to come in, but oh my god, really? As showing absolutely no fear. Now it's just a Raichu that has to defend against 3. That is impressive. Quick amount of fire and damage that's being output right now by Mia Familia in that basement lane. They're going to try and push this. The Psyshock is a wonderful choice here, just being able to stun, but also doing big amounts of damage. If they can get that onto the Leafeon and onto that Gabite in that top line that's really going down, 76 to 87. First objective spawn is Reg Ice on the deck top side and Regieleki bot side.
Yeah, and already Mia Familia is saying, listen, we got Reggie in the bottom. Let's break that pad. Let's grab Regieleki, convert them, turn this into a 6v5. They're going to get their 6th member of the team here unless the Crustle's able to take it. No, they miss out just by an inch.
I mean, Crossell tried there with the Rock Tomb, but again, Niat on that Psyshock Espeon, a lot of these secures, we could see some objectives taken away if they can get their timing right, but the raid boss Venusaur is online right now. That pedal dance Venusaur, Danny's going to stay basement side and try and take away this Regieleki, but look at the patience of Mia Familia right now. They're showing absolutely no fear, but before the defense is on, that Garchomp gets online.
Yeah, Garchomp with the Livid Outrage is going to be very, very deadly here, but we got the Psychic Scalera already coming in. That's going to keep the Garchomp out because it needs to go in with its Livid Outrage. As it's coming in, it's going to take down 1, 2, possibly 3, or is it going to get taken down itself? It's used as Unite move. It's going to take down no one. Gets taken down itself. Downtown back to Nurse Joy.
Mia Familia did a brilliant job there, Hyde. They actually split the focus of that fight. They took out Louisa on that Leafeon. Danny was dealing with the Regieleki in the bot lane, and they just split that fight beautifully, did Mia Familia, focusing the right target. Even with Garchomp getting that evolution, its Unite move and the Bliss assistance, the damage outpouring coming out from Cinderace that's going with that faint moveset into the Blaze Kick as well. It just shredded down the damage, and the raid boss Pedal Dance Venusaur could just keep itself sustained going up even against a heavy hitting Pokemon like Garchomp.
Yeah, Garchomp, you gotta be careful with it because even though it's got the unstoppable wall and Livid Outrage, you gotta get it off. And if you just get stuck inside of a wrong mean look there, that could absolutely wreck your day and just make your Unite move just totally useless. But look at that damage from the Raichu. Espeon didn't push check, face checked it, and got blown up.
I mean, these are why you play Electro Ball over Stored Power right now. Danny just has that ability. If the Electro Ball damage did get nerfed as well, Cotton Cloud Crash has to be used by the Elder Gods to just avoid. But Garchomp has gone straight after this Fire Bunny. They break the pad in the bottom lane. The Bliss Assistance is going to come out alongside the Dragon Push to help scoop up and isolate the members of Mia Familia. Ooh, Los Duras were on the back foot, but they brought it back within 1 point, Hyde. 179 to 78 as we have just passed the 5-minute mark. We're hitting the 4-minute mark. Final stretch, almost on the clock. Blissey almost getting a 40 in, but Venusaur saw it and said, what you think you're doing a sneaky behind my back?
Yeah, that Venusaur, they were just walking there and they saw Blissey on the pad. They're like, oh, no. They made a beeline for it. They're like, Pedal Dance could not be activated fast enough. But we have the Regidrago spawn in the middle now.
I mean, look, these teams all want to go for this Regidrago. Crossell Rock Tomb's going to hide up the Umbreon away. Milan's going to come through. Rubble Rousey into the Verdant Anger. Umbreon's going to pop the Midnight Prance. Regidrago is dangerously low. The Emerald Two-Step also came out from Louise, and Thunderstorm area. The Regidrago was secured by Louise, and Louise is going to take that opportunity to try and get that 40 in as quickly as possible. Mia Familia tried to find their targets, but everybody from Los Duros just backed away. Bye-bye, Louisan. Gets caught by the Blaze Kick. They're going to get caught by the Mean Look as well. Into the Blazing Bicycle Kick. I think that was a little overkill, Hyde. But the 40 goes into that top path. We are in final stretch. Los Duros have taken the lead.
Yeah, Blissey said the first time failed, but the second time, well, that's the charm. We don't even need a third time. But will that Cinderace have its Unite move back in time? 48 seconds until Groudon comes back, and it did use it rather late, so it's got a lot of farming that it's got to do, and that means that it's going to be experience that the rest of their team's not going to be able to pick up. But do they also need it? Level 12 on Espeon. That's both upgrades. Level 13 on Venusaur. That's the big one right there. That is going to be huge for the side of Mia Familia.
I mean, getting both of your plus moves on both Cinderace and Venusaur, as well as now Umbreon and the Espeon. There is a Registeel top side that these teams are going to fight for with 40 seconds. They can just shred this down. This is exactly what Mia Familia want, but Louisan is there to play spoiler. Louise is going to take the Registeel. This is just going to pop off right now, Hyde, with all of the Unite moves are flying.
Oh no, 1 second before Groudon, 4 down for Mia Familia. It's just Cinderace and a dream hitting the Crustle as we have Los Duros going onto the Groudon here. 1, 2, 3 hits, comes in with the Razor Leaf. It's going to be the Raichu that secures it. going to be moving to zone out the Cinderace. All Cinderace can do right now is score. But that does mean Mia Familia is back. This could be it. No, the Raichu stops them. The Fate was not going to be enough to get them get the score in, but it does get them away. 100 Burger going in, 363 to 178 as Los Duros is now pushing to the home pad of Mia Familia.
Still a minute and 20 on the clock. Hyde, they could steal one of these ground buffs, and that's exactly where you could steal it from, is that Blissey. Blissey goes down, and Cinderace has taken a ground buff. Louisian cannot lose their buff right now. They are just waiting, but they've got the ground buff. They know they could do the damage and get out if they need to. Venusaur's going to chase. Blaziken's going to chase as well. Louisian is just wasting some time, but double ground buffs that are going to go for Cinderace and Espeon is not what Los Duros want. They still 300 points in. There's 54 seconds left to go. The final fight comes down to this.
But the Garchomp already picked up 2 quick KOs. Eldegoss, Venusaur already down the limit. Outrage put in the room, but not going to be enough to stop those KOs from getting got. Cinderace now falls. It's only 40 seconds left on the map there. The Umbreon, Espeon are scattered. They're not able to regroup or find a position. Blissey said, hey, you may have got my buff, but that was just a feint.
I mean, they tried so hard. Even 2 buffs on that Espeon on Nia and the Cinderace with Rally. It was not enough for the defensive force that Los Duros had to their favor, especially when you've got a powerhouse like Raichu with a ground buff. They're just going to sneak a 2 KO streak into you with 7 seconds left to go. Mia Familia is going to take this one 2-0. This set was absolutely electrifying, Hyde.
Oh my gosh, was it ever, Lobo? Oh my goodness. They had the firepower behind it. They had the buffs. They had the push ready to go. But unfortunately, they got outplayed when it came down to it, because Groudon buff is not an unstoppable score like Rayquaza was. It's not an instant score like Zapdos was. You have to plan it. You got to be strategic. And Oscatar was positioned perfectly to grab 2 sudden KOs against Mia Familia.
I mean, the scoop from Garchomp is such an effective isolate tool. It almost acts like a blaze kick as well. Whoever can get those repositions is going to have the advantage in the fight. Really did a brilliant job with 8 KOs coming through, 62k damage, 34% of their team's overall damage. But however, Louisian and Oscatar leading from that front, but it was the support they had behind them with Danny on that Raichu. 84k damage. I told you, Hyde, this is one of the best attackers to play right now. The AoE damage, the ability to dash in and out. If you've got a strong front line in front of a Raichu, my God, just wait and watch, and that damage is going to rain on down. But have a look at this map. It was a fairly even game, back and forth for both teams.
Yeah, it was. And as you can see from the scores here as well, like they were just going at it. Mia Familia did find a way to get back into it, but Los Duros also just like, all right, we know what their vibe is. We can see what they're doing, and we just shut them down from scores from the mid-game onwards. Mia Familia was just not able to find that. And right here from the get-go there, once this Leafeon started getting online and started going, that was what they found the tempo there, and that's what put their attackers in danger.
No, I agree. And look, Mia Familia had their moment, just like here. They were able to isolate the Garchomp. Look at that. 2 Unite moves, delivered Outrage into the Bliss Assistance. But when you're stuck between a Venusaur and a Cinderace, where Cinderace can just hold it down and continuously press that A button whilst you're dealing with a pedal dancing Venusaur. They had the suppressive ability. They had the stuns to come out from Nia as well as Umbreon isolating everybody with that mean look as well to make sure that they can't go anywhere as Cinderace presses you down. The dashing ability coming out right now, including the safeguard helping hand from Albanoa on to all of the members of Los Duros. But this is where I felt the fight went the way of Los Duros. Mia Familia backed off on that Reg of Steel. They started getting it down, and Luisa just had to come in and tickle it just a little bit to be like, hello, you are mine right now. And there were 4 members down for Mia Familia before that ground fight even got going. And here we saw the push come through. Rally was deep into the enemy team's central lane, but Los Duros handled it brilliantly and secured the game number 2. Mate, it's I gotta ask you, you've probably seen these teams play before, but they are consistent members of the UFC. We've been going for, I think, 8 or 9+ weeks. They're just getting better. Give me your thoughts on these teams so far. What are you seeing that's different from, your own region in the NA or anything that we've seen in other casting stuff that we've done before? Give me your thoughts just real quick.
The brazenness of it, the creativity, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, North America, we get it, we see some all-rounders come in, we see them get buffed, and we hone in on it. We're just like, it's all-rounder meta, baby. It's time to go. Now, Pokemon like Raichu, Miraidon, they've still remained strong, but when a major buff or a major nerf comes in on a Pokemon, we're quick to ditch it. And Teleon, we got rid of that guy as soon as those nerfs came in. Umbreon, it's starting to make its way back into NA play, but again, as soon as its steel got halved, we axed that thing. We just said no, and I don't know why. It's still a great Pokemon, as we saw today. So the fact that EU has so far stayed not just stayed up to date, not just completely said no to a Pokemon. And Fearless Draft really helps with this, being able to find those secret techs of Pokemon, find those niches, and find the love again for Pokemon that were once lost.
I love it. It's so fun to watch these players come through. If you guys want to support these players, please go check out the incredible website that we have for you guys at playunite.pro. You can see every team that is signed up for the UFC. You can see the matches that we're going to have. You can see the records that these teams have. You can even see the grade that these players have been given by professional Unite players. They have been analyzed, their games have been strategized, and they have been given a rank. You can go check all of that out at the wonderful website that was developed by here at the Engage team. You can even comment and talk to your players and tell them what an incredible job they're doing. Everything that the UFC is doing is all about player stats, player highlights, and getting the best out of your team. With the upcoming seasons coming up, which is just around the corner, these players are doing absolutely everything to be on top of their game. But for us to be on top of our game, we need to take a little tiny break, grab some water, grab yourself a snack. Don't go anywhere. The UFC will be right back. We'll catch you very soon, guys.
Good evening, Europe, and welcome back into this next set in the Unite Fight Club mid-season open series. Bat and Tano back on the mic here with the legendary Lobo. That game was an exciting one, buddy.
I mean, every game in the UFC is exciting, baby, because you know what it is? It is Fight Night, baby! I'm joined once again by the very handsome, the Big Daddy himself, Mr. Spartantano. Welcome back. It is always good to see you. Because of the time shift in Australia and the Europe region, I was about to say, the timing shift has been a little bit messed up with our timings here, but we've got it under control. And now we have the lovely Hyde that comes in with us to join us with these games. We're so excited to see a fresh perspective of a new caster when it comes to these UFC games, Tana, especially considering you and I have been doing it for since it started. So getting someone like Hyde to come and see just that excitement that they bring to a cast because it's so new and it's so different, it just reinvigorates my fighting spirit, if you will.
Yeah, I love it, buddy. I mean, Hyde has been doing so much over at the NA side of things. So for them to see what our region is capable of bringing to this game and how excited it gets them, that just makes me even more excited for when UCS finally does kick off and we really get to see these teams kicking butt, buddy. So this is exciting. It doesn't get any better than this. I believe we are getting ready for our next game to kick off. But let's have a look at where we're currently at standings-wise. Let's get that group standings up and have a good nosy right now. So left-hand column is your wins. Right-hand column is your losses so far. The next game we have is Los Caracados taking on Bigorno. They are 1-1 apiece there in Group 2, buddy.
I mean, yeah, look at that. One-on-one is such an important thing, but look at what's happening over in Group 1. MTC Esports and Los Duros 2-0. Me and Familiar Electro Drifters going down. Now, I have to be honest, Tana. There's a little bit of bias for me in Group 1. One, doing the wonderful play-along podcast with the MTC Esports, such a young, hungry team led by Amara as well, who's brought out the Tinkerton and the Tyranitar as well. An exciting team to watch is MTC Esports. And Los Duros, they have been consistent throughout the UFC. They have some of my favorite players as well. So excited to see them do really well, and especially with the UCS season coming up just around the corner. I can't wait to see what these guys are going to be able to pull out. But our next game in the UFC is going to be another banger.
It is. And a couple of these teams, by the way, are playing elsewhere in EU on a weekly basis. Bigorno are currently competing in the French League, LFPU. They are fresh off a big victory. They are currently undefeated, and that has just gone past week 3, buddy. So a decent record for them to have. There's about 3 or 4 teams currently undefeated in the LFPU, and Bigorno are one of them. So to come in here to another series that they're currently competing in and to have that number 1 spot so far at Group 2 is massive. But Los Caracados have been playing in the Unite Fight Club for a while, buddy. So this is going to be a big challenge for them to overcome.
Yeah, I agree with you, Hero Milfil. We got Volter as well. We got Leo, Draken, Ayame, Bertolo, and Jose on the side of Los Caracados. Darkrai being banned up alongside that Hooper. We saw such a good Darkrai game coming up from Louisiana in that very first match. Darkrai is such a strong Pokemon. I want to say not the typical fast speedster that you kind of expect, but its ability to put you to sleep and do all of that extra damage is such a problem to deal with. It had all rounders banned off mostly in game number 2 in the last set. All supporters looking like they're getting banned off this time round, but Mega Lucario is going to join the fray. What an absolute problem Mega Lucario is right now.
Yeah, I did hear that it has a slight bug where it's not quite as it doesn't get affected as much. It's more unstoppable than it should be. From what I've heard about this little bug, I mean, teams still want to play it because they like to play these games where they can have access to everything, but you definitely want to take it out of this game partly due to how much stronger it is because of that. Dragon Lee is going to lock in the Suicune here for Los Caracados as the #1 pick. Greg's going to answer with their own crowd control monster being that Psyduck.
Oh, these two are such problem Pokemon. We haven't seen too much of Psyduck lately, but its ability to zone as well as just hinder your team alongside that Unite move, the Psy-I-I, the infinite Psy-I-I is such a problem because it does all of that damage reduction. Aslan's going to pick up Snorlax, one of the most popular defenders, I would say, right now, still sitting atop of that throne. But Leo gonna bring out the big beefy bug with Ayami, gonna feed it some dessert in form of Alcremie.
Yeah, I like that. Very strong healing coming out from that Alcremie. Leo with the buggies needed. So Volto picking up the Metagross here would be a good shout. Very good at going one-on-one with these all-rounders. They're currently debating it between the Blaziken and the Metagross. Mephil is going to lock in their tried and tested Greninja here. So you have that damage, you have that range. Volto is going to be here for the secure buddy. They opt for the Blaziken, which you can never go wrong with. There's a reason that thing constantly gets buffed and is never left to not be in the meta. So I like this pick from Volto.
It's hitting Leafeon territory for me again. We had this conversation after it first got buffed. Blaziken is now slowly making its way down on my list of Pokemon that I want to learn or that I want to see. Birdler is going to pick up Mew. I think Mew is probably a very underrated attacker right now. It just has such utility, does Mew, not only to hit you hard with a big solar beam, secure with Electro Ball, but also do a little crowd controlling with Surf. That coaching as well coming back into play just has that ability to let Mew get out of danger and try and lock on to a teammate. Jose's going to pick up Zeraora. Now, I say this all the time. Zeraora seems very niche. We don't see it played every game. It seems to come out in moments where they just really want to throw off the enemy team because that kit, whether it's Discharge or Wild Charge, it's going to be a problem to deal with. But Hiyori is going to pick up another Pokemon. It's seeing these two Pokemon on the same team just gives me the ick. I don't know what it's about, Tom. I just don't like it.
Mate, that's so valid. I will say Hiyori is my player to watch, my new player to watch here in this scene. They have been so impressive in this offseason. We've seen them competing with Ultimate. We've seen them competing in multiple different series, and they have been brilliant on the Pokemon that they've used. So I love this matchup here with Baganu throwing out the Leafeon for Hiyori, going up against Jose on the Zeraora. I think this is going to be an incredible matchup here, Lobo.
And what I love is that it's not only the UFC that's holding these grassroots tournaments. These players are playing in every single tournament that they have a chance to play in to get that experience, because we're not so far away from the official season taking place. And these teams want to make that shot. They want to make sure that they are ready. And it seems like ever since you and I started this not so long ago when the offseason first began, but also just 2 years ago when we first started casting together in the EU region, teams have just leveled up. Whether we're seeing the roster mania and teams jumping from different sides, and I love the fact there doesn't seem to be any animosity between these teams. They're just jumping around, trying to figure out which player works better with which player, and it's just making this region so much better, and I can't wait to see how they perform. I have high hopes, and I know these players are going to rise to the occasion. But we're in. Blaziken is not taking that central lane. It's going to go to that Leafeon. Zero is going to go nowhere else but that central lane as these teams start to scramble midway on.
Yeah, it's interesting that Leafeon's going to take the blue buff first. Looks like they're going to go for both buffs rather than just dashing straight into the lane. It has meant the pressure from Los Caracados down in this bottom lane can be pretty strong as Draken looks to see if they can find Aslan on this Snorlax. There comes the Electro Ball from you as well with the coach and looking for them. But that passive, one Citrus Berry, and you're pretty much back to full health. That's going to be goodbye to Draken Lee as they now get the first KO.
Draken Lee probably should have taken the chance to back off. Suicune has that ability to just stun everybody. But Leafeon is going to go in for the fight, but Zeraora is here. That is a problem. Beautiful stun by Psyduck to put that brakes on the side of Los Caracados. Only 6 points on the board. Altaria is yet to spawn.
Now they are here. Let's see who's going to go for these first. We do see the approach from Zero Aura looking for that flank to get the KOs. A lot of that farm did go over to the Buzzwall, but Greg blocking off any approach Los Catacados can take right now. Smart play from Hiyori, knowing that that dash was going to come from Jose. Kind of a stalemate up in that top lane so far, though, Lobo.
It really is, my friend, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be a stalemate much longer because Psyduck and Leafeon are going to go and cause some problems for Zero, making sure they can't take their farm. And if a central laner can't take their farm, what are they going to do? You need that central laner to be at the highest level mostly throughout the game. But we do have Zero here, going to try and come in with the Volt Switch, going to make sure they pick up the KO, but Snorlax's going to take a nap in all of that. Very unbothered about getting KO, but Los Catacados going to chuck some points into that basement lane.
So 44 points to 6 right now. Los Catacados trying to get that point lead because the levels are not that easy to come by as Hiyori takes the central area away from Los Catacados. They need to get more levels, especially on Jose. They've just hit level 7. Now they want to see if they can get some attention onto this Regidrago. Buzzwall rotating down here, trying to see if they can take it away. Greg just smartly getting that vision, waiting for Meeville to be ready to go for that lock-in. Jose dies through, trying to see if they can find that but the Greninja, but they don't, and it's going to be taken by the Leafeon buddy. So Begonu gets that global experience.
He already did such a smart job throwing those Razor Leafs out, but there's the big damage coming out from the side of the Zero Aura. Just being able to do a lot of damage, making sure that they have to push Begonu back as well. The Volt Switches, they're trying to get that pull, Tano. If they're going to be able to isolate anyone, I think it might have to be that Blaziken, because getting that Blaziken isolated has to pop out the eject this time around. If they can get it and isolate it away from its supporters, that's a big KO that Los Catacados can secure. But speaking of pulls, Greg manages to pull in the little fluffy, the little Mew, and get the KO with the assist of the Greninja.
Jose does find the Avenge onto the side of Greg, and they're going for this Regieleki as well, but that was a brilliant effort, and that just shows how the synergy works for a team like Begonu right now as they try and see if they can stop this Regieleki going on overheat, ready to go. They use the Water Shuriken as well, and they do take it away, buddy. They managed to find Leo, and now the pressure is on. We have Suicune here as Dragonly tries to see if they can stop that going in. Not able to do so, though. Blocked off by Aslan, and Begonu lock in the top lane.
We're talking about the Zero Aura pull, but these pulls coming out from Greg as well have been absolutely stunning, making sure Dragonly couldn't get back to their home pad as well, couldn't get any kind of healing, just put them out into no man's land for that KO to come from nowhere. But here, oh my god, Greninja is just sneaky their way all of the way through. Mew's going to take a lot of that farm in that middle lane, 156 to 44. We've got Zero going in, but unfortunately it runs into a big block from Snorlax.
Good beam is going to come through from you there. Bertolo's going to find the quick KO. Regice is going to be ripped now for Begonu, looking to see if they can get the secure. We do have the overheat ready to go. There's the beam as well. It's a little bit too early, but Jose steals it. They were looking for the KO, not even looking for the objective. Plasma Gale comes through, and with the Alchemy Unite move, that's enough for Los Catacados to really push into this. Unfortunately, though, Leo has fallen. They might need to have a little think about this. One of the Shuriken's going to come back on out here as they're looking for the KO. Meatbill trying to see if they can find a sneak round, and they do pick up the Suicune here. Putting the pressure on, though, is Jose as they do manage to find the KO into Meatbill, and now Los Catacados are going to go on the retreat. I
mean, Los Catacados were able to secure that objective and then push the pace on to that pad. Buzzwall going down there in the middle of its Super Swole Slam Unite move was a big downfall for the side of Los Catacados as they were trying to push onto that basement side. Begonu doing a brilliant job defending, keeping that lead intact as Greninja is still here to defend. Unfortunately, Greninja is just a little bit too quick for Suicune to get any of these freezes that they want to get on it. But because of just that ability with the Shadow Clone, or disappearing into dust, Greninja is just so fast, being able to avoid any of the crowd control that's coming out from the side of Los Catacados. But Begonu look like they want to go in to this basement side. They do manage to get the pull on the side out. Turnabout is fair play, Tano. Absolutely brilliant. I love the pull and the intricacies from these Pokemon.
Oh, that was brilliant with an Electro Ball to find the KO as well from Bertolo. These are why these teams are so strong as we have all the Unite moves going now. One of us, Shuriken's going to come back through onto Dragon Lee after they use the Endless Ice Spikes. Mifil's going to find the KO. Oh, buddy, right now they're cleaning up Los Catacanos. A huge serve comes through from Bertolo as they try to escape, but they find him with the execute anyway. And it's Greninja that comes out feeling tasty off the back of that, but can they get away from Leo as they look to dive on in? Oh my god, the smoke screen works a treat right now. It's just a Yami trying to find the KO, and they do find it off the back of the Bulby helping them, buddy. Wow, what an effort from Los Catacanos.
The heavy slam was just a little bit too late there to allow the smoke screen to come through, but a big 50 score is finally gonna break the seal on that top pad. They're gonna go down to 30. Another Reg Ice coming to. That's 2 in a row. We might see the ever elusive 3 Reg Ices in a row, my friend. I know we had a lovely pop-off moment when we saw it before, not too long ago, but the fights are on. 216 to 94. We are in final stretch. We are at that time. Experience is doubled, and they want to make sure they have as much experience as they can to go with these levels, because we've got a level 14 lead beyond, but level 13, as we do have Dragon Lee almost getting caught out, and it does. The execute comes in from Milf on that Greninja. This Greninja is smoothing and grooving, my friend.
I would not be surprised if we see Greg get banned off this Psyduck, bro, because the way that Greg has enabled Biganu to find these KOs with these pushes, with these pulls, has been incredible. We don't see Psyduck anymore, and I'm so sad about it because Greg is absolutely cooking here. Look at this again. They can't escape. They want to get back to their team, but they're not able to. Brilliant play by Biganu so far, but we are about to have Groudon on the field right now. Los Catacados are a little bit behind on those points, but they do have levels, and now once the Groudon is on the field, buddy, we have a game on our hands.
Do we sometimes forget that this is a team game and that you have to work with your team, these pro players? Well, there's the pull again into the heavy slam, into the block, and Dragon Lee goes down quickly. Big enough want to push the pressure because Snorlax has gone in with the power nap, buddy, and now it's about to pop off.
That it is. They found a quick KO, taking out the Suicune, and the Zeraora is massive. Here's Greg, pulls Impulse Wall yet again. Leo falls. Biganu right now, they are demanding control of Fire Sky Ruins. We see the Fluffy Cream Supreme come out from Ayami, but they're not able to lock in on it, and it's going to be Mifil that finds the Groudon. A good Surfer's looking to come through from Bertolo with a Mystical Mirage, but it's not enough. Lobo and Biganu are going to take this game on. We've got a minute 10 left, but right now I think they've got enough space and enough Pokemon down from Los Catacados to score these hundo burgers.
The last thing you want to do right now is lose that point. The Endless Ice Spikes were not able to stop Blaziken from securing there. The Heavy Slam comes through. Boswald, I thought, picked up a KO and did get access to a buff, but now here we go. Los Catacados have got 2 Groudon buffs on their side. They have only, I think, about 326 points if my quick math is correct. But now, there we go. Ayama's going to get a score in. Where is Milfil going? He's going to try and get a Hundo Burger to try and keep that score level. I don't know if Los Catacados have the pockets for this, my friend, because they're just going to score. And Bigano's tactic here is to just let them score.
I mean, either that or Hiyori is unfortunately disconnected because Leafeon has not moved in the past minute, buddy. There we go. Now we see them moving. Luckily, the scores in the home pad were enough from Biganu to not be too concerned about this push. 10 seconds left. Not enough change on the field here for Los Catacados to get the win. And Biganu are going to take the first game in what was an electric game there, buddy.
I mean, you talked about it before. They were dominant wherever they've been playing, and that is the first time I believe we've seen them in the UFC. I wasn't here last week, unfortunately missing all the action there, but if that's the first time we've seen them, what a way to stamp your name on your debut with a very dominant performance. You got to put out the highlights. Greg on that Psyduck, take a bow. That see that MVP tag. Just move it up one. No, taking absolutely nothing away from Milfil. That Greninja performance was absolutely stunning, but none of that could have been done without the absolutely incredible performance coming out from Greg and Aslan. The pull into the heavy slam, into the executes coming up from Volter and Milfil. Hiyori was the highest level on their team heading on into that ground fight. Well, we barely saw it. The subtle play of Hiyori on that Leafeon can go incredibly understated. And it all came down to the pull on Draken Lee at that start of that ground fight. Pulled by Greg, isolated by Aslan, executed by Milford. Absolute brilliant ground fight coming out from the side of Bigano. Guys, this team is one to watch, my friend.
It really, really is, mate. And I love that in that game, we really got to see how impactful some of these support players are, buddy, because you are absolutely right. Greg and Aslan really enabled their team. And that's one of the things that I've enjoyed about Bigonu. I know these players individually, right? And I've seen them play on other teams together, but I haven't seen much of Bigonu until I was looking back at LFPU and seeing them compete in that to do a little bit of a recap. And I was like, this team, they're exciting. They're a team to watch. We already know how dominant Los Caracados are. You can never count them out, buddy. They were a top 4 team in EU for ages for a reason. So this is such a great setup. But it is so exciting to see these teams that have just sort of kicked it off and just really put a standpoint on how well they can play.
No, I agree with you 100%. As we check our highlights here as well, Psyduck getting a lot of really just a Pokemon that even through Fearless Draft that we didn't see a lot of. Now that I'm thinking back to it, we have actually seen Psyduck completely fall out of those top 3 or 4 picks come through. Usually Psyduck was one of the very first picked up. There's the block heavy slam into the water burst shuriken. And again, just the output of damage. I want to say, for a Pokemon that was buffed as much as it was, and that seems to be such a problem like it was, as we saw the get back with the pull, Blaziken, for the last couple of times that I've seen it, has been a little underwhelming for me, Tano.
Yeah, me too. And also in the previous set, I felt like Blaziken was a little underwhelming. I feel like it's been like that in other tournaments as well. And part of me is very happy because I think Blaziken is always ridiculously strong in this game, and we should at least nerf it so we can have other all-rounders be really strong like we had for a couple of weeks before they buffed it again. But it's just that overheat, isn't it? I feel like if overheat wasn't so good on Blaziken, people just wouldn't use it.
I agree with you, and this is probably a little hot take from me, but I'll tell you what all-rounder I want to see get buffed to the moon as we finish off these highlights right now. We do go in through, there you go, the Draken Lee already getting taken down. Boswell could not do anything. Fluffy Cream Supreme trying to keep the attackers alive. Ayame just tried as hard as they could to even get the steal, but Milford was not going to be denied at all in that game. That was a standout Greninja performance. A lot of time we do see Greninja, and now that I'm remembering, it's usually by Milford every time I do see a Greninja in the EU region. A Pokemon that was almost up there with Cinderace as a Pokemon when you pick it. It's almost like, what are you doing kind of thing as well. But these performances on not only Cinderace in set 1, Greninja in now this set as well, these Pokemon are popping off. But my Pokemon that I want to see get buffed up, Phalanx. Give me Phalanx. Give me an OP Phalanx. I would very much love to see Phalanx come to the board and get buffed as well. And also, if you guys want to buff your setups, you can go and check out our sponsors, Pink Passives Computers. Please use our code INGAGE at checkout to get 5% off store-wide. That shipping is, I believe, Tano, UK only. You do have to check their website for all kinds of international shipping, but you want to get graphics cards, you want to get hard drives, you want to get any kind of gaming peripherals. I know I've been eyeing off that little Steam Deck Mini. If you will, go check out Pink Parsnips Computers. We want to get buffs in Pokemon Unite, but you want to buff your setup. Pink Parsnip Computers are the way to do it. Big shout outs to them for being a sponsor of the Unite Fight Club. Without them, we couldn't put any of these incredible performances on, and the fact that grassroots tournaments are managing to secure sponsors like this is such a good indication as to how healthy the scene is right now, Tano.
100%, buddy, and a huge shout out to all of these production houses that are doing these grassroots. There's actually not that many of them for Pokemon Unite, so a huge shout out to the ones that are doing it. And INGAGE is definitely leading the way with this EU region, and also in the other regions, buddy. We see them in APAC, we see them in India. They lead the way wherever they possibly can. So a huge shout out to INGAGE GG as well. And these players, buddy, I mean, you and me, we love this game so much. I am at my happiest when I am on the mic casting this game. So a huge shout out to the players and viewers that enable us to be able to scream down this mic.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm at the happiest when I'm casting this game. I'm at my worst when I'm playing this game, but that is mostly due to my own skill level. We are seeing Lucario, Suicune, and Darkrai banned off. Once again, we're seeing Hooper, Eldegoss, and Raichu. For some reason, I love seeing the Raichu bans because it just reinforces my statement, my hot take, that Raichu is the best attacker in the game right now. We are seeing Ayami-chan's going to go with the Blissey. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, even though it's not a best of 5, it is still Fearless Draft, which means we're probably not going to see a Greninja again. And Big and No do not have access to any of the Pokemon that they played. Same with Lost Katakuros. But banning off that Suicune, a smart choice, because ain't nobody like the cold out there, buddy, because that Suicune is a problem.
That it is, and I like the tactic by Los Caracadas. When you're in a effectively like a best of 2, like you kind of have that fearless draft, you know that you can get one game in where you can pick whatever you want, and then just ban it out so the others can't use it. So taking the Suicune away is a brilliant decision here, but oh my, looks like we are building a Protect the President comp on the side of Los Caracadas so far, buddy. Draken's going to pull out the Lapras. Leo is there on a damaged Blastoise. Iyami-chan with the Blissey. They are free of the tankiest tanks in this game.
I love seeing Lapras. I think Lapras is a very understated Pokemon, especially with those new items that have come through. It has given Lapras new life. It is such a tank and such an annoyance to get rid of, but we've got the tools to deal with the situation. Volto is going to slam that big Lappy boy down or give it a hug, depending on what you want to do. Milfoil has decided to pick up the Mew, a complete 180 from the Greninja that we saw before. So double ranged attackers. We thought we'd see the double ranged attackers on the side of Los Katakuros, but they've actually decided to go on double speedster, fake them out with the front line, and confuse them with the speedsters. I don't know what's going on over there.
I mean, this is such an interesting comp from Los Caracados, and I kind of get it. You've got 2 huge range attackers over on the side of Big Arnu, and if you can take them away, they don't have that much damage. Yori's going to bring in the Zorak here for that burst damage, but looking at objective secure, looking at really trying to rip down objectives, you take it away if you can take those 2 out of the game. Now, Meowth very well known for their Mew, so that ain't going to be an easy task at all, buddy. But on your own side, you do not have any rip. All you have is really burst damage and crowd control. You don't have rip, so you have to win this early game. If you don't, you are definitely up against it in this mid to late game.
I do agree with you there. They're looking like a more team fight oriented based comp, but I'm also looking at the side of Los Katakuros, buddy, and where's the rip on their side as well? I know Leafeon has the ability to rip as well, but it is a speedster. It still is quite squishy and it can take a lot of damage. We do see the switch of Milfoil and Greg going from Mew to Inteleon. So Milfoil's going to go with the Inteleon, which I actually love. Can we see a liquidation come to the play? I would love to see liquidation, but that we did see an EXP share go on to the Mew as well. So again, nice experimentation coming out from these comps. I love experimentation. The thing about Pokemon Unite, 78 Pokemon. If you're not experimenting, what are you doing? You're just playing the same thing over and over and over again. And that is not the way to succeed at these levels where these teams are aiming for the top of the mountain. So you got to bring something a little bit unexpected. But I say 78. We're going to hit 80 soon with Delmice and Vaporeon coming to the forefront as well, buddy. But 10 minutes to go. Game 1 went to Big Anu. Let's see if Los Katakuros can turn around Game 2. Zeora is going to take nowhere else but that central lane.
They really do need to get this win as well, buddy, because right now, Biganu are leading Group B by having this win under their belt already. We've got one apiece for the entirety of Group B. Los Caracados, if they lose this game, they are very much at the bottom of that group. Draken here is going to put some pressure down on this bottom lane, allowing this Ponyta to get some stacks in the early stages, but a good response from Aslan here, getting their own stack in on this Eevee.
And this is exactly what I want to see from Leafeons right now. I want to see them take one of those buffs in that central lane. I want to see them dominate a lane. Zora has to take both buffs to get that evolution to Zoroark. But there we go. Los Caracudos gonna try and put the pressure on early. Make sure that Aslan is as strong as possible. But that is not the way to go, because Zoroark turns the game around with a quick swipe of those claws.
Not able to get the second combo off because unfortunately Ponyta is incredibly difficult to catch, but that is what you want from your central area, to come into the lane and get that pickup on the opposition central area. Up in the top lane though, War Turtle is now online, having the Blissey here as well. That's a very difficult matchup even if you are a Buzzwole, but we do see the rotations coming through already here, buddy. This is Speedster Central on Fair Sky Ruins as they all rotate to the top side.
I mean, Hiyori has jumped in. Leafeon does pick up a KO on the Mew. Now Hiyori just has to back on out 30 points on the board. 4 members going to throw points into that top pad for the side of Los Caracudos. Los Caracudos weren't happy with the way that game went. Hiyori almost picking up a KO on the prancing Rapidash, but that is not where Leafeon wants to get caught, and Jose takes a quick trip back to Nurse Joy.
They're doing the right tactic right now at Los Caracados, so you have to be very aggressive in this early game, score as many points as you possibly can, and try to limit this Zoroark as much as you can. Now, that isn't an easy task, and they've definitely not done that as they hit level 7, but they do have more points on the board, and they need to keep up that scoring if they want to look at winning this game, because look at what just happened to Lapras. I know that they do have the Inteleon and the Zoroark there, but there's going to be plenty of occasions where they just team up on the side of Bigonu now, and Los Caracados, they do risk it because now they have to throw every Pokemon down in this bottom side, leaving Buzzwole to get plenty of stacks.
The Hydro Spin is going to go for the side of Leo. We see that move being used quite a lot lately, Tano, because it has that ability to disrupt. It also has the ability to do damage. Along you pair it with the Hydro Typhoon. It's such a good disruption tactic for Blastoise as they do pick up a KO. Umbreon is dangerously low, but managing to get out on an HP and a dream. I can understand what you're saying about Hiyori. They are just smoothing and grooving on that Zoroark. And you know what I like the best about it, Tano? It doesn't have a flower necklace.
Doesn't need it here, buddy, on the side of Biganu. Huge bit of damage onto Draconly there as the passive is going to be popped. They try and get out of there, but the damage continues to rain on through. We see the Musted Auto coming through. Doesn't find the hit, though, as the Regirock is taken here by Jose. And Los Caracados want to see if they can continue and find these KOs. But look at Hiyori ready to burst through from the bushes. Gets the boosted off, but ends up hitting a defender. And Los Caracados, this is what their comp is designed to do, and finally it works for them.
I agree with you. And the smart thing I saw, usually we see Zoroark dive on in and use that Unite move, the Nightfall Daze. Hiyori actually holding the trigger, not playing trigger happy and using the Nightfall Daze to put some damage on. They were able to assess the situation and go, wait, there's another objective top side. I can wait and hold on to my Nightfall Daze for this next fight. I really love that awareness that Hiyori is showing in these matches, not only being able to dive in from the backside on that tier 1 push, but also holding that Unite through for a rainy day. But this is not where you want to be up against a Lapras when you're an Inteleon and a Zoroark.
No, that you don't. Not when they're trying to get you with that execute. A huge snipe shot comes through, though, and Rapidash is sent packing. Moonlight Prance is going to be used by Aslan here, as it looks like Bigonu, they just want to push this bottom pad. Pull as many attention from Los Caracados as you can, while the rest of your team breaks that top one. It's a smart tactic from Bigonu, and they're really trying to control this as they get out of the hands of the Emerald two-step. Huge snipe shot hits as well, and that is devastation for Leafeon.
Emerald two-step, buddy, is usually just a straight-up delete move, but I've never seen it dodged as many times that I have seen it dodged in the UFC. Usually, Emerald two-step is a GG, go back and reset your Pokemon, but however, Zoroark, if there's one Pokemon that can dodge any kind of Unite move, unless it's a surefire target, it is that Zoroark. Rapidash is dangerously low there, but Mew is deciding to chase with that EXP share, accompanied by the Buzzwole. But there's Hiyori once again, trying to go for the supporter. And if you would defend and attack the supporter, what are Los Caracudos gonna do? Because they have no one to heal and keep your team safe.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you just can't deal with Hiyori. We're going to have Lapras Express come through here, trying to see if they can defend the pad, but Mean Look does stop them for a moment. They don't actually get any points in just yet, but they're looking to get the 20. Here's the Swole Slam coming through. They're trapped in the Triad Blitz. There goes the Azure Spy Vision. That's going to do plenty of crits right now, but this Galarian Rapidash proving to be a big issue for Pagano so far. We do see Mystical Mirage coming out as well as they look to continue to push this pad. Los Catacados have defended it right now, though. If you can't take that Lapras down, you might as well walk away from this because there is more coming through. But Aslan wants to commit. They use the Moonlight Prance. They're going to pair that with the Latring coming out of the Buzzwole Buddy, and they find a quick KO onto the Blissey. Less healing now on the pad for Los Catacados. If they find this Lapras, that's going to be the pad that they can break, and they have to give it up.
Buzzwole was trapped in that Triad Blitz, but once again, it was a matter of, you're not trapped in here with me. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. We're seeing Buzzwole use Leech Life for the first time, I think, as well. It is not the competitive style moveset, but it is the sustained moveset from Buzzwole. Usually we see the double slam come through, but again, Buzzwole healed themselves back to full health, taking out not only the Rapidash, but the Lapras and the Leafeon as well. Almost picking up 4 KOs with the assist of their teams throughout that entire fight. You can see because that Buzzwole is at level 13 right now. Leech Life seems like a very good shout here because now you trap Jose just like that into the Leech Life and you just regain all of your health back, my friend.
It's exactly why I like it here, buddy. The two speedsters are wanting to continue to be on the move. You can't do that with Leech Life. You cut down that speed meter on the side of that Rapidash using that Leech Life, buddy. I think it's a great move by Volto, proving themselves to be right. As they hit level 13 here, Blissey can't escape, and Pagano are beginning to put their own dominance on Faya Sky Ruins in this game. Los Catacados, they've kept themselves in it here, though, Loba. We've got 30 seconds until Groudon takes to the field. 266 to 180 points, but it's these levels that are getting a little bit out of reach.
Yeah, I agree with you right now. 3 level 13s on the side for Big or No. 18 seconds. Final stretch is up. Regieleki has walked in to that tier 2 on the top side. Big or No just don't seem to care right now. They seem, as much as Los Catacados is bulked up to all high heaven, they are not afraid. They have the damage, and Lapras just gets taken down to a lot of health. Just shredded by Hiyori on that Zoroark. But I think that the thing you have to watch out for right now is Volto. EXP share Mew is a problem, and you see that Mew is nowhere. They're just not going as far away from Volto as they need to. They are in the lead. They don't need to do this too big. You know, they're just going to tickle the ground on right now. The Inteleon snipe shots, because Jose is looking for that Inteleon, but Volto is right there to stop them from going anywhere.
That was perfect team play by Pagano, with Mephil saying, yeah, come get me, Leafeon, come get me, Jose, not knowing that Buzzwole was waiting for them as Volto finds the pick, and now they've taken down Los Catacados' heavy speedster, looking to see if they can find the Rapidash, who's looking to go for the approach right now. Blastoise not being here. There's the Swole Slam, does get stunned on the side of Volto. Triad Blitz is going to come through. They try and get in for it. It was a brilliant effort from Bertolo, to be fair, but Pagano are going to lock in the ground on, find the quick KOs, and they're already in the lead with 50 seconds left, buddy. It looks like they're going to take this with a 2-0 record.
It's cheeky, mate. It's very cheeky from the side of Big or No, and beautiful snipe shot. Milford is just hitting these snipe shots from downtown, from absolutely off the screen. The cheeky play coming out from Milfield to bait the Leafeon into. You knew Leafeon was targeting the Inteleon. You knew there was nobody else that Leafeon had their sights set on apart from that Inteleon. And Volto just stood in that bush like the protector, the big beefy bug that he is. Picked up the grass type and just gave him a hug, sent them back to Nurse Joy. We got the countdown. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big or No gonna take this 2-0.
It's a brilliant effort, mate. And Los Catacados is such a solid squad as well. To take that with a 2-0 record is very impressive for Pagano, and no wonder they sit atop of Group B right now. I don't know, but I feel like that was an impressive showing from everyone, realistically. I think Los Caracado's comp was interesting. I do think that they managed to get quite a bit out of it, but I was concerned about the rip damage that they didn't have. Bertolo was brilliant, very hard to catch, but you've got a snipe shot, you've got Greg, so they were just completely cutting through Draken and Leo. Like, they got half health in like one hit.
I mean, look at the damage coming up from Volto. Look at the damage coming up from Milford as well. 117 so far. Just damage output by Milford on that intelligence. Snipe shots hurt, buddy, especially if you're on target. The hitbox is so small. So these players are so accurate with the bubble 07. But Volto really popped off in the second portion of that game, really coming to their own, especially with the leech lights. Because you look, almost the damage that they've taken, they healed back themselves with a leech life. I don't exactly remember the items that were being used on Buzzwell, but if it's not the big root, I'd be very, very surprised, my guy.
So it was focus band, muscle band, attack weight for Volto.
Okay, never mind. Big root not even needed. Well, I mean, focus band, attack weight, and muscle band is just the standard that you run with Boswell, especially in this day and age. And I don't know if that was a switch to Leech Life at the last minute from the side of Volto, because like I said, we do usually see the double slams come through from Boswell, because picking up your own opposition and then beating your opposition with their own teammate has to be somewhat kind of morale inducing. So again, this is the defense that we saw here. Look at Hiyori. Look at the positioning of Hiyori in that bush. Didn't move, waited for everybody to get on their pad, and again, opted not to use the Unite move, even though they had it in their kit.
Yeah, I did like that. They kind of recognized that was actually a lost battle and you don't want to use more resources than you need to. So that was actually a very smart play from Hiyori. And I just think it was a great game all around just to get out of this Emerald two-step here. The meme looks going to come through. The synergy from Beganu was absolutely on point. We did see some brilliant moments from Los Caracadas as well, though. But I think the Leech Life is an inspired pick here, to be honest, on the side of Volto, because it really did limit these speedsters. That's what you need to limit here, buddy. You've got your Mew, you've got your snipe shot to take down those defenders. Let Volto rip on these speedsters, and it worked a treat for them.
And again, with speedsters, you need to get in close because that's where they want to get their executes coming from. But nobody wants to get near a Boswell because they either punch you or they hug you. And you know, it's just, again, there's the beautiful bait that came in at that Groudon fight. And once Leafeon gets taken out early, not able to use that Emerald two-step, you can see on the bottom half of your screen that even though Leafeon was out, they had no access to that. They still had access to Emerald two-step, but Boswell just giving everybody a hug, just a friendly bug. I know some people don't like bugs, but Boswell, he's a friendly bug. He just wants to give you a nice hug and then be on his merry way.
That he does. What I did like as well is that they popped not only the focus band on Draken instantly before Groudon even came on Lobo, but they also got the passive out of Lapras there. So they literally had no extra sustain if they wanted to go in. So they had to go back to the home pad. That's realistically the only way they're going to get that healing back. And then you kind of have to wait before you have that sustainability unless you use your Unite move. So, even though they didn't find the pick, they're very happy with dropping that amount of damage onto Draken, because then it's just a matter of, well, that defender's now out with this fight until at least they have their focus band back or their passive back, or if they go for the Unite move. So it was a smart play from Beganu. No wonder they take the 2-0. A brilliant effort fought back from Los Caracados, but that's going to be that set, chat. We are going to head to another quick break while we get the next one ready to go. I think, is that you done now, Lobo? You got work. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Two incredible sets that I got to watch. Big ups to Los Duros Mia Familia and Bigano and Los Caracudas. Thank you. Next, no follow going up. And Mia Familia going to play twice today up against Electro Drifters. Again, a lot of these matches are also happening off stream as well because we do have our mid-season. So again, once again, the top two teams going to go through to Thursday. I will be back on Thursday, but unfortunately due to the time shifts, we had to start a little bit out an hour later here, which means I get more sleep, but I only get to be with you guys for a certain amount of time. So I'm going to take my leave. I'm going to leave you in the very, very capable hands of Mr. Hyde and Big Daddy Tanu. Yes, I call him Big Daddy Tanu because I just love to do it. Big shout outs once once again to Peak Passives Computers. Big shout outs to all the players that are here playing, competing, and watching. I love you all very, very much. I'll see you later on in the week, but for now, we're going to go for a break, and we will be right back with some more Unite Fight Club action. See you soon, everybody.
Welcome back, trainers. We've got another set to bring you, and I've got Hyde back on the mic with me. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be back again, casting with the amazing Lobo, and now I get the amazing Tano. Oh my gosh, I'm getting spoiled with choice today.
As are we, buddy. It's amazing to have you over here, of course, usually on that mic for the NA region. How is the NA region shaking up recently?
Really good, actually. I mean, we did get a lot of all-rounders. We all know how NA loves their all-rounders there, but we are seeing a lot more creativity pop up there. So a lot of these grassroots events that are happening over here, we're seeing more Latias. We're seeing some Dragonite Duraludon combos. We're seeing even more Sableyes pop up. We're seeing a lot of interesting picks come through, and most of those happen to be some of my favorites. So, you know, I'm just getting spoiled there too. But for the most part, we are getting a lot of really creative draftings. We're getting a lot of creative Mon choices, and this is not even fearless draft. So if we bring something like Fight Club over to NA, I'm scared for what's coming.
Imagine Imagine the scenes where you have a best of 5 fearless draft over there in NA and they're already pulling things out like Duraludon and Dragapult, buddy. That will get very interesting. I hope that happens. But right now we have the next set of the Open Series here for the Unite Fight Club to go through. And it's been a tasty one so far. Bigonu, for me, are beginning to be the look-at team.
Yeah, I saw them in that last match. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you right now, they have really great synergy among themselves. Like game number 1, that Snorlax was deadly in their hands. That Snorlax Psyduck combo, oh my gosh. And then game 2, they were behind and then they found their momentum and they came back and pushed it. It was great to see how a team can go from being on top to being a little bit behind. It's just like set number 1. These teams in EU have just been so mind-blowing. It's amazing.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it as well, buddy. Right now, we've got Thank You Next, who, by the way, are off the back of some very successful runs in the weeklies that we have here in the EU region. Very much in that top 3 era there, but no follow. Oh boy, is this a team to watch as well. Bruv, all the way from Nouns on here, we've got Klaus, Zante, Potato, and Marv. Every single person here in this region will recognize those names. We have an Alolan Ninetales on the field here, Hyde.
Alolan Ninetales. I love to see it, especially with that XP share. We got the incense on there. That is going to be an A-press nightmare if it decides to go with the Aurora Veil into the Dazzling Gleam.
Oh, are we going to have 3 speedsters? Yes, we are. No, follow me, Klaus. They were teasing the Gengar for me there, buddy, but they're going to pull out the Leafeon instead. This is a scary comp. I mean, you do have Buzzwole on the side of Thank You Next, and to be honest, the Absol with Laura on it is going to be very good at taking on speedsters as well, especially if they go for Pursuit. So they do have their work cut out for them here on the side of No Follow, but that is ridiculously aggressive as a comp.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be looking for, if I'm Thank You Next, I'm going to be looking for where the Zoroark, the Leafeon, or the Dodrio is, because one of these 3 Pokemon is going to be off-laning looking for a score. The moment you see it hit your pad, you crash the opposing pad as a 5-man team. You let that score go in, but you go at them hard, because when you look at Pokemon like this, they only have Burst. You got Bulk. You got to use that to your advantage, and I think Thank You Next, if they're able to find a way to crash those pads while one of those 3 speedsters is missing, they're going to find a lot of success.
Yeah, that they are. This is going to be a really interesting comp. I cannot wait to see this game, buddy, between both of them, because you do have a lot more strength on the side of Thank You Next. But this might tell us why we have this Alolan Ninetales online. What is interesting, though, is, I mean, you kind of have to go for it because Suicune's banned, isn't it? Like, Suicune is basically a better Ninetales currently in this game. So they're forced here to pick up that Ninetales that we just never see anymore. But the chain of crowd control is so good, and you've got Bruv on it as well.
Yeah, Bruv has been a very strong player. One of my favorites coming out from Nouns there. It's been amazing to see. So I absolutely love to see that all of these players are now off on their own journeys, making new teams, making new friends and whatnot. So it's great to see how a lot of these power dynamics are now going to be introduced to other teams and matchups. And right now, Fight Club is not disappointing.
They are not. Zante's going to look to see if they can get some quick stacks here on this Leafeon. If they can take something away, they don't just yet. Looking for the Snorlax, though. And they do find it. This is great pressure from No Follow from the get-go. Has to get out, though. Does Bruv use the eject button for it? That is crazy because they didn't even have their Evos hide.
No, and that's crazy too, because the EV Espeon did. So they're coming in, they're going against a powerhouse, and they're getting taken down. Speaking of taken down, there goes Doduo. There goes Comfey, taken down and gone. Thank You Next says, thank you for the farm.
That is brilliant response from Thank You Next. Now they've really put the pressure on the top lane, so No Follow, they have no choice but to do the same down here. Klaus is here, takes all of that farm away from Thank You Next, and you see them back up straight onto their T1 pad. Klaus has to quickly go to that top lane because of the pressure that they're bringing, and the Comfy goes straight around the neck.
Yeah, and when you look now, we have the Ninetales caught out here. We're trying to get out there, and we're gonna get got by the Espeon. Nice pivot there from there. We're just trying to waste time. We get taken down, but a 30 cap from the Leafeon was able to make it into the bucket.
Sante is going to be taken down here as well for their efforts. So it does feel like no follow right now. They're having to quickly rotate around these lanes and put that pressure on without Klaus being here. It's not an easy task to find the KO so far with Laura coming down into this lane. But it's still 52 points to 42. 8 minutes are on board. Reggie Drago coming into the central area. Laura going for the rip, but we do see Leafeon coming through. Zante's looking to see if they can secure it. A huge slam is going to come through from Snorlax. They do find Leafeon and take the Reggie Drago as well. Thank you, next beginning to win this early game.
Yeah, and this is really important too, especially against a Pokemon like Leafeon, which can throw the balance out of shift. But already that Dodrio has just found a good real estate over here in the jungle of Thank You Next. That central path here is already gone, and Absol says, you know what? Thank you, I'll take that back.
Now again, the pressure on the bottom lane from No Follow. Looks like they're going to find an instant pick onto Snorlax here as Ouch is sent away, and the Emerald two-step's going to come through. No Todo here in this lane anymore as No Follow does score the points. Looking to see if they can get another stack in for Zoro while they break that with a decent overcap. But look how close this point lead is. Thank You Next will get this Regieleki uncontested after breaking the T1 pad.
Yeah, it's looking like it's only going to be Dodrio defending that top pad, but we do have the A9 as well as the Leafeon in position to go straight for the defense. The Zora Comfey are now basing after taking the Registeel and going back up to there.
Yeah, you can't realistically push this in. You've got 6 minutes 40 without having that springboard being up for another minute at least. But right now, so much damage on the side of No Follow. So you've got to get something out of that. It looks like they're going to rotate down to the bottom lane to see if they can break that pad instead. They do have Leafeon here as Zante's trying to zone them out. Here comes Bruv as well, and they may have been caught out in the central area here. Buzzwell's going to come through, finds the KO onto Klaus right now as they look for Bruv as well. There's the Midnight Slash coming out from Laura, and there's a backup as well with the Emerald two-step coming through. Psychic Slare's going to come out from Todo. Thank You Next with the pincer movement here on this T1 pad. Looks to see if they can find Zante, but the comfy collar works a treat. A huge block is going to come through from Ouch here, and that is going to do enough to at least let Thank You Next to get out of this approach until Dodrio comes in to shut them down. Potato is going to find the KO onto Laura right now, and the rest is cleaned up by none other than Klaus and Zante.
Oh my gosh, you love to see speedsters played like this. We're not in the speedster meta, but let me tell you, No Follow's trying to bring it back. Whether they got the penetration buffs or not, they're saying triple speedsters all the way.
It's just constant pressure by No Follower here that Thank You Next have to consistently answer to, and it's become so interesting because in the early game it was the opposite. Thank You Next were the ones that were all over each of the lanes, and No Follower were trying to respond. This mid game has absolutely gone their way so far, though, and they are, getting to the stage where they're beginning to outlevel the side of Thank You Next, and now they've got Unite moves ready to go as well. This next team fight is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, 5 Unite moves here on the side of Thank You Next. Only 4 with the Zoroark looking for theirs for No Follow. We got 8 seconds here for our basement Reggie. 2 seconds now as Regieleki comes up on the top there. Nice engage from the Snorlax coming in with a nice heavy slam block combo though.
Ooh, Bruv's going to see if they can get the combo chain off here, and that does. Nightfall Day is going to go on in as well on the side of the Zoroark. Comfey's there. The Snow Globe is going to be used, but doesn't find any KOs on the back of it. Not enough damage either, and it's going to be taken by Todo. Registeel buff yet again for the side of Thank You Next, but now the rest of the speedsters are coming in for the flank. Emerald two-step ready to see if they can come on through with it. Psychic Slare's going to be popped out here as well. It's going to be Midnight Slash that finds the Leafeon. Here's the triple trying to see if they can find the combo, and hide they do. The Drill Peck finds 2, and Thank You Next are sent back to Nurse Joy. No Follow dominate that response.
I mean, you can let them get the buff, you can get that basement Reggie, but that buff is no longer a threat if you just KO them and knock them all out. I mean, that's exactly what No Follow did. That's what they wanted to do, but Thank You Next is coming back for revenge. They're saying, listen, we had that, we earned it, and now we're going to go back and we're going to take our frustrations out on you.
Oh, Potato gets away with 1 HP and a dream. Bruv will not, unfortunately, as the pursuit comes through from Laura. And now Thank You Next responding kind. And all of a sudden, there's like 30 points between these two teams. Buddy, what a fantastic game this is shaking up to be. We've got 1 minute and 30 before Groudon takes to the field. Both teams are looking for even more experience. And Regieleki is ready in the top lane.
Yeah, this Regieleki is going to be very crucial coming in, but we got that Emerald two-step going into the Midnight Slash. These speedsters want each other, and Absol comes out on top. That's going to put Thank You Next in a position to zone out and try to grab the Regieleki if they can. This could be a great push for them to secure more points to put them in ahead so they don't have to worry about who's ahead, who's behind by the time Groudon spawns.
They're also going to have a bottom like Reggie that can come in as well. Right now, though, Bruv trying to see if they can get that combo off and limit the crowd control. But there's too many from Thank You Next going for the rip here, and they're wary of this Zorak coming on through. A power nap from Snorlax, though. I know that that's going to stop the approach from No Follow. I'm not sure if that's worth it. They're going to have to farm that back, and that is the most important Unite move right now for engaging at that fight, buddy. I'm not sure they should have popped that.
No, they definitely shouldn't have. One of the things that No Follow has is triple burst onto this Zoroark, Leafeon, and Dodrio. A9 is also a very strong contender for a lot of huge damage out. Defenders notoriously weak to special attackers. They're going to have to look for a pick, and they found one on the Dodrio!
Oh, that is what nightmares are made of as Potato comes into the bush and he's paired up against a Swole and a Snorlax, and they're sent straight back to Nurse Joy. Little bit of damage onto the Groudon here from Thank You Next as they try to pull in No Follow. They do get the Friendly Fields forever. There's the Snow Glow coming out from Bruv as well. The rip on the Groudon's going to continue to come through as we say goodbye to the Ninetales. Sai gets alert there trying to stop Zante coming in with the Leafeon. Emerald two-step is going to be popped, but it's Thank You Next that finds the KOs, takes the Groudon. They're currently behind, so they have to score these points.
Now they're going to be able to get the points in. That's the question here. Dodrio's already in the bottom lane. The triple trample followed up by the Drill Peck. Going to knock those Pokemon down. Take out the Espeon here. Guys, Thank You Next now pushes to this pad again. Only 130 some odd points separate these teams right now. So all No Follow needs is a huge push. And with Dodrio with the buff and 2 Pokemon down, it might just happen.
Oh my days, this is a brilliant effort from both teams, but with a minute left, we have to see something from No Follow. They found the double KO. Snorlax is now down for a whole 30 seconds. They've got triple speedster here, Hyde. They can get into that top lane, down into that bottom lane with quick time, especially with Potato having dashes, so does Klaus. But it's all about these Groudon buffs being on your side. A lot of damage you have. You've got to capitalize on Snorlax not being here, but you've got to watch out because Midnight Slash is not going to be far off. Pursuit is there as well. 35 seconds left. See if you can find the combos, though. They don't find it on the side of Klaus as they go back to Nurse Joy. But the approach in the backline from Zante, and they score the points here, buddy. But they need a little bit more. It's 435 to 409. Midnight Slash is going to be hit. And look at the rush from Laura as they look to see if they can go score these points as Klaus goes back to the base to try to stop them.
They're going to be able to stop them, but are they going to realize that they're under? No, they don't. 10 seconds left. They will not make it back. No Follow, I believe, doesn't realize they're behind. So Thank You Next is going to take game number 1.
I think that is one of the most exciting games we've had in UFC so far, and this is in the Open Series mid-season tournament, but that was electric. I enjoyed that every single step of the way. It was back and forth for the entirety of that one. Look how close it is as we have a look at the scoreboard very shortly. That's 1 point over to Thank You Next, but that could have gone either way.
That absolutely could have. Everybody just kept us on our toes. They're like, listen, they want a good show. Let's give them a good show. We know the Pokemon we can bring in, and I'll tell you again, Triple Speedster was dangerous, and it almost worked. I can't believe that almost worked. And I was going to be cheering for it too, because again, like as these Pokemon come in, they're doing their jobs. They're off-laning. They're scoring the points that they need to all match. And Thank You Next did a really good job of punishing and making sure that those reverse pushes were happening to keep the point total close. Because if they didn't, No Follow was going to run away with this game.
Bro, it's giving Luminosity versus Nouns with just so many speedsters coming out here. That was amazing from this team. And, you know, they definitely did what needed to be done. We see Bruv here with 65k damage. The combos were on point, but it just felt like there was too much on the side of Thank You Next. You've got the Psychic Solaire, you've got the Heavy Slam coming through from Ouch, and then Indigo's there with the Cotton Cloud Crash. So much crowd control. And then Laura has Pursuit. That crit is so huge. And you're so weak weak on the side of no follow. You've got one healer, Marv, that can hop onto you and do that healing, but it's so hard when Pursuit takes away majority of your health. Oh, what a set. I mean, that's game one, buddy. I don't even know how they're going to respond in this next one, because if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but I feel like I would never have guessed that No Follow were going to come out with 3 Speedsters, a Comfey, and a Ninetales. Ooh, just check your audio for me, buddy. I think we're having reports from production that you might not be audible on stream right now. So just check that for us whilst we have a look at these highlights. I mean, surely it's pretty late where you are, right? But anyway, we do see these highlights coming through. Some good Unite moves. Again, this was it. Just managing to find the Leafeon, and I feel like Laura was very impressive on this Absol.
Yeah, no, absolutely there. And I'm back, guys. I'm not muted. The Tano's not just talking to himself. I'm here. He's not just listening to ghosts, I promise there. But yeah, no, that was absolutely brilliant to see these teams come through and just do absolutely everything that they're able to do. And like we said, No Follow, they got to find a way to come back, because Thursday, we're only taking top 2 teams from each group. And as they're coming in, like, they got to find a way to come back. And with 3 Speedsters banned, I mean, these are a lot of, when you think about it, we're Fearless Draft. These are not power picks on their own. These are really good Pokemon that are like individual comps or whatnot. So it almost feels like these might be a bit of a throwaway, and they're just here for the 1 point of the set. Maybe we'll see something good coming into game 2 so they can even it up in 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, you need those points. Absolutely, you called it right there, buddy. You're looking to be the top of the groups, and it is Fearless Draft, so that's a lot of Speedsters that they no longer have access to. You know, you've taken Dodrio out, you've taken Zora out, you've taken Leafeon. They can get the Absol, because it is probably the best Speedster in the game right now, alongside that Talonflame. Let's see if they want to go for that approach, because right now they seem to be banning out all the Eevees.
Yeah, they want those Eevees gone, Leafeon gone, Glaceon gone. Hey, guys, there's still Umbreon, Espeon there, Sylveon. I don't know if we've still seen Sylveon today. I don't think we've seen that today yet, but maybe that's the secret sauce. Maybe that's the secret tech. But we're getting rid of Meowscarada. There's something No Follow says, you know what? Meowscarada is something we don't want in their hands. I think they're going to bring it out this game. Let's get it gone.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Nex, have gone for that, knowing that there's only so many Speedsters that they have left to play, and these big teams love to play their Speedsters because the ranged attackers are so good on these squads as well, so you really need to limit them. Right now, we have got so many taken out of this game. Absol, Gengar still pick upable, but I think Absol might be very contested here. Klaus is going to pick up the Blaziken for the side of No Follow. I think what I would like to see here, we've got the Mew. I want some Alolan Raichu coming out.
Oh, yes. I mean, we again saw that before today. Alolan Raichu, very devastating in the right hands. But we still have some more other power picks. Suicune, Blissey is still up here. Eldegoss for our 1 team here for No Follow, still up. Snorlax for No Follow, still up. A lot of good Pokemon that weren't banned out last time that are coming in this time here. And you know what? We might be setting up for a Raichu in this 3rd, 4th, or 5th slot pick.
Love this adjustment from No Follow. They're going back to what works for them. You called it, Hyde. They're going to go back to a comp that they use quite often. Marv is going to pick up the Blissey. Potato has the Lucario on the field. So they're really building out the usual comps that we see from them. Laura is going to pick up the Alolan Raichu here. I nearly said Ninetales there, but I was so shocked by that in the first game. And Vic is going to round it out with a Blastoise with the anti-heal on as well.
Oh, absolutely there. And hey, if you're not having Buzzwole on the field and you're not confident with Buzzwole and you see some stubble surf coming out, why not bring in the four-armed menace Machamp themselves? They're coming in, they're going to submit. During submission, you're absolutely unstoppable. So surf from Blastoise, surf from Mew, not going to be able to touch you. The gravity from Clefable, though, that might stop the cross chop.
Oh my days, Zante's going to round it out with a Decidueye here as well. Indigo's got the Clefable. I mean, if you take a screenshot of the previous comps and then take a screenshot of these, it's a completely different set here from both of these teams. And I love the fact that we have the EXP share on the Machamp. It's going to be submission Machamp. Champ Cena is coming to Faya Sky Ruins.
Ooh, you love it. But Zante, hear me out, okay? Hear me out on this one. I know you're probably going Spirit Shackle, but Razor Desi? Razor Desi, come on, bring it in. Is this what you're going to... We want to see this. Come on. Be a little crazy. You buy triple speedsters. The little Razor Desi action could be great. But, I mean, when you have range poke like Raichu, Mew, going Spirit Shackle, probably the correct play to do.
But then again, you only live once, Hyde, and we're here for a fun time, not a long time. Come on, Zante, pull out that Razor Leaf. I want to see it, you want to see it, the fans want to see it. Let's just delete those Pokemon very quickly and get up close. That's what I want to see, mate.
Oh, absolutely. And as we're coming into, I'm excited to see again how these teams are going to come into the clash on this, because our teams are very balanced. They're very engaging with each other too. They're reliant on a lot of combos from each other, a lot of good synergy, but they also look for nice setups and picks. We're looking at Suicune here. We have Blissey on the team. We have two Pokemon that can go into unstoppable, and we have a third one that's able to get it on an upgrade. So No Follow is set up to handle stuns and CCs from the side of Thank You Next.
Now, the bottom lane matchup isn't the best for No Follow. Mew and Suicune is incredibly strong, but we do see them trying to see if they can find a quick pick. The Electro Ball is going to come through. Bruv manages to use the eject button to get out of the damage at least, but that's the matchup that we've got to be keeping an eye on, buddy, because it's so good on the side of Thank You Next to begin with.
Yeah, I'm taking notes right now because I didn't even know you could do that on Electro Ball there. Oh my gosh. Again, the knowledge on these Pokemon from these guys, absolutely pivotal as the Electro Ball from the top side takes down the Lucario.
Oh, that's massive here as Thank You Next looks to see if they can find some more farm, but Klaus with the Combustion is going to find a good KO onto the side of the Clefable as well as they come into the lane. Rowler is rotating up to the top side as Zante looks to see if they can get some assistance up here and find a quick KO. That does leave Bruv down here on the poor little Machop as they try to get back to the pad. They are desperate for experience on the side of No Follow.
They are, but the little bit chop that did get the big old mean Altaria. Managed to karate chop that in for the secure there, despite the Suicune, despite the Mew. Legendary, mythical, Machoke does not care.
That they do not. They've been hit in the dojo. They are prepared for that fight as No Follow managed to score some points here. And yet again in this early game, it's a very close game between them both. Some power spikes coming to No Follow now. Probably more on the side of Thank You Next, though, as we have a level 7 Raichu ready to put the pressure on. Zante's trying to see if they can get the 18 in, and they do before the Electro Ball lands. Champ Cena from the top ropes uses the submission, but Bruv has to use their eject button to get over the wall, and they're just being hunted down.
They do. They could have gotten away with the submission as well, but they go for the grab instead. They're trying to waste as much time as possible for their Dartrix to get out. Speaking of getting out, there's the Regidrago taken down by their Lowland Raichu.
Oh, great effort. Thank You Next again, getting those power spikes online even quicker. No Follow, not far behind though. They have managed to get more levels. Level 5 still on the side of Thank You Next. So it's the pressure getting alleviated in this top side because the bottom lane hasn't had that easy of a job. A good push coming through here from Klaus. They managed to find the majority of that farm as Ouch is going to back on up here. Try and see if they can find a good freeze. The diving comes from Potato as they go through with the speed, but there's the Bone Rush. They don't find any KOs just yet. They do find the Citrus Berry waiting for the E-Speed to be ready to go whilst they pull the attention of that Clefable. Look at this from Vic. They are chasing down Potato.
They want to. This is their evolution on the line. Any one of those KOs could do it. And there's the Raichu coming up for the assist there for the War Turtle. And unfortunately wasn't enough to tick in, but grabbing the Excavalier. Blastoise finally on the board.
Oh, and they just wait for Blaziken to charge the overheat, let it hit, and then finds the final hit on the side of Laura as Thank You Next continue with mega pressure in the top lane, but no follow now have the space down in that bottom lane. They score their own points in return. We have Decidueye online with Knock Knock ready to go.
Yeah, that knock-knock could be very good and devastating against the other team. We're not even going to care about overcaps in the bottom there. We're just going to break the pad, get it gone. Another stack into the pocket of that Decidueye as the barrage blow comes out from the Machamp onto the Blastoise, but picks up the Clefable.
Oh, buddy, no follow, have their comp online finally. Bruv with a massive barrage blow goes in with a submission again. Thunderstorm Aerial is going to be used by Laura, trying to defend this pad, and it works a treat as they do have to back up on the side of no follow. The freezes are going to come on through from Ouch here as Klaus looks to see if they can dive on in for the approach. No follow now, just clumping up in this top side as we see a quick rotation into the central area from Zante. But the entirety of Thank You Next is here, and if they don't join this fight soon, they're not going to win it.
Yeah, no, they got to do something here. This fight could go either way, but Thank You Next does have advantage. They got pad in the top side here. They got the side of no follow scattered all to the 9 wins of all the Pokemon Unite Stadium here as we're coming through.
So close between these two yet again as we hit the 5-minute mark. It's officially mid-game here on Fire Sky Ruins. It looks like no follow want to go for this bottom objective. Thank You Next gonna let them have it. Will they go for the top objective themselves? Looks like that's the approach that they're going for. Bruv actually decides if they want to go for a T2 cap here.
Yeah, with Regieleki spawning here in just a few seconds now, whoever's going to grab this is going to get good pressure into the other side. Our teams are only about 14 points apart there, so when you go into Groudon, you want to make sure you have a bigger cap lead, like this Decidueye Machamp combo in the bottom. Huge scores in the tier 2 here. That's going to put the pressure on Thank You Next to take this Regieleki here. That's going to give no follow the steam they need to dive on in.
Oh, and Bruv does just that, getting ready with the barrage blow, buddy, as they do manage to find 2. They don't find the KO just yet. Knock Knock is going to be pulled out from Zante, and they lock in the Regieleki. They find the KOs on the Thank You Next, and just like that, no follow has obliterated the front line of Thank You Next. The Lecky's going to walk on in. A 40 dunk is going to come through. Klaus looks for a pick, doesn't find it, but they have well extended their lead here in this game 2.
Woo, you cannot underestimate these guys. Let me tell you right now, they are in a very powerful position. We're about 90 seconds away from Groudon spawning in. We still have another basement Reggie here coming into the map here. We got one final objective before Groudon comes in. And I'll tell you right now, it's going to be a big one because Regice, this could be a really good experience for whichever teams, because look at these experience thresholds. We got 12, 12, 12 for no follow, 13, 11, 10 for Thank You Next.
They're going to use this final fight as an opportunity to find more levels, but that damage coming through is too much for no follow. They have to retreat right now. Spirit Shackle ready to lock in the Regice. The Aura Cannon's going to do it though, using the last opportunity that they can as Potato finds it, but no follow are falling one by one. Knock Knock is going to be used again. Not that Thank You Next are concerned, because the healing comes through from the Moonlight. Indigo keeps the team on their feet, and they now break this T1 pad and brings this to an ever closer game.
212 to 259, 40 seconds till Groudon is here. This is a position no follow wants to be in because it'll tell them they're in the lead, but they don't. They're going to realize it's not a huge lead. They're going to realize that we're behind on points. This could be also a fatal mistake for one of these teams as well, thinking they have to take a fight. They might have to go in and do something because they're behind. Thank You Next is most likely to make this mistake, but no follow might just want to take that fight early.
They are desperately trying to get Unite moves here, but his Groudon's about to come on in. No Aura Cannon. He's literally just come back. Knock Knock, though, still looking for it. They don't have the Thunderstorm Aerial yet, either on the side of Thank You next. And they're going for a rip. They've got the Decidueye. They're just going for it right away. But there's the Barrage Blow coming through, and it's going to be the Blaziken that finds it. No follow. Locks in and instantly goes for the rip, knowing that all of Thank You next was not around that Groudon Den. And now they just score Hundo Burger galore with Thank You next reeling from that rip.
They counted the secures and they're like, we have Decidueye, we have Blaziken, we have Lucario, and we got Machamp, and there are so many secures for no follow, and they just said, what does Thank You next have? They have a Mew. That was it. So they went for the rip. They took it. They had the opportunity, and they went through. Now it's just a big old brawl at the home pad just to waste time, because even though they took the Groudon, even though these massive points are in, with a minute left on the clock here, there is still enough time for Thank You next to turn this around.
That there is. No follow right now. We're just looking for more points. They're looking to find more Eos energy that they can score. Look at Lucario here. Potato's just looking to grab the central area from no follow. Thunderstorm Aerial's going to come down. 50 seconds left. If Thank You next are going to win this game, they have to find these KOs right now, and they do disrupt the KOs. Those no follow have fallen. There's 3 down. We see Zante go back. Klaus does as well, but that's 2 Pokemon to defend 2 pads here. They do have timers on. 10 seconds before Blissey is online. Thank You next have to sprint to these pads.
With 2 Groudon buffs and 3 full pockets there, this could be it. This could be the way it's done. They're keeping one person there. They're not even stopping them, Tano. They're going in. That's 190 points coming in right there. So now 392 to 567. 15 seconds left. They could try to get this done. 1 cap isn't going to be enough. They got to get some KOs as well. Blastoise's going to get this in. The Thunderstorm Arrow is going to come out. They're going to go through. They're going to get as many as they can. The Decidueye went for the cheeky back. Go in. The Hundo went in. The Hundo went in, Tano. Oh my gosh.
I think Toto might have done that, buddy. In the mystical Mirage, didn't use any of their moves so that they weren't targetable, and they just get the Hundo Burger in. I am waiting to see if that's enough for them to win this game. We got a 36 coming out from Blastoise as well, and it's so close.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
528, 567. Valiant effort. Oh my gosh. Keep us on the edges of our seat. We can see the score. We didn't know what was going on.
Bro, that was incredible. So no follow are going to get themselves a point here in these best of 2s. So it's 1 apiece. Oh my days. Is that not the best set we have seen yet, boy? That was brilliant.
I don't like to pick favorites, but yes, this was a clear winner. Oh my gosh. And I just realized, Tano, that Blissey was not Safeguard, not Helping Hand. That was full eggs. Look at these healing numbers. 94 from the Clefable, 95 from the Blissey there. Indigo and Marv doing the absolute most to keep their team up. They knew what was on the line. They knew what's at stake, and they just full sent it.
Oh my god, I love this region. I love this game. These were exciting matchups. We've got Bruv, the tank extraordinaire for EU, the best tank, in my opinion, on this game, playing the support Machamp with some massive barrage blows, and it worked an absolute treat for no follow. Zante was brilliant, Klaus managing to find some good hits, but I think Thank You next were so aggressive with this game. They were very impressive.
No, they absolutely were, but they were doing really good. And these are titans in EU. These are household names, and they put it up to this. They left it to a coin flip. Like, no follow knew what they wanted to do both games. Very unique play styles, very unique Pokemon, and Thank You was just right on it. They were able to just say, you know what? We're on to these games. We're on to these mind games. And they were able to keep composure. They were able to find break points within the strategies of both games. And they were able to take game 1, and they almost took game 2.
Buddy, I don't know how they're going to decide these top two for Thursday. It's absolutely ridiculously close between these teams. I mean, the wins that are coming through, they've both got a point there. I cannot wait to see the group stages after this next set because it has been so close. And of course, it's only the top two from each group that are going to make it through to Thursday's game. So let's just get ready for the next set or go for a break. What do you reckon, Hyde?
Oh, I have no idea. Whatever's ready first, I guess. If we got the next set there, let's just send it to the last set.
Let's do it, bro.
Ready,
I'm so ready for it. Let's let production know that we are prepared. We don't want to halt this action at all as they're getting ready to throw us on in. Oh, I tell you, I mean,
yeah.
From your perspective, Hyde, okay, so you coming over here, you're doing a little bit of this EU casting. We've seen you doing the EUC as well, the European Cup. What is it like seeing this region and being on the mic for it?
It's been phenomenal. It's been great. It's been an experience and a half, and it's something that you don't always see. Like, there's some grassroots events where I'm getting to see a lot of NA teams and a lot of LATAM teams. And we're just seeing how these two regions are clashing and colliding, and they're doing a lot of great work. And then you come over to EU, and you're seeing drastically different strategies. You're seeing some similar things, but again, that's just like the cookie cutter. Every region's running those things. It's where the uniqueness is coming out, and it feels like NA is starting to finally either show it or feel comfortable enough to show these strategies on stream during these events, whereas EU is like, no, we're here to have fun. We're going to full send this. We're going to show everybody how crazy we are and how crazy it works.
It's one of the reasons I love being on the mic for this region. They are just bizarre with some of the stuff that they pull out, buddy. And it gets me excited every season for the upcoming UCS because you get to see, and you'll know it from an NA perspective at grassroots, you get to see these teams come together out of the back of roster mania and start to build their synergy through multiple tournaments that you cast them in. And when you see them on that stage, right, later on, you're kind of like a proud dad. You're kind of like, oh my God, these guys have absolutely cooked the offseason. They are brilliant players, and I have seen this team develop. So it's just such a joy to be on the mic for this game.
Oh, absolutely. And again, watching some of these previous teams on previous streams for Fight Club and for the European Cup there, it has been a blast seeing how a lot of these EU teams have adapted, adjusted, and not just that, but grown. Watching them go through this journey, seeing them in their first games and being like, yeah, that team needs work, to seeing them come up against household names and titans and across all of these events and whatnot and saying, you know what? Oh my gosh, they beat them. Oh my gosh, they almost got that. Oh my gosh, they took them to the wire. Like, they made them think, they made them sweat, they made them bleed.
And what's crazy is how shaken up the world stage for Pokémon Unite is right now. Luminosity is no more. They've gone their separate ways. Overlord and Slash, I believe, are now playing in Japan. They've been picked up by teams over there, buddy. Nouns are no more. Each of these players have gone their individual way. Gatlu and Adesu have a new team. Bruv is now here playing on this team. You know, you've got these huge teams like Gen 5 that split up, and now they're the new BH3, respectively. So many of their players are on that squad. So there's so many shakeups off the back of what was already an incredible World Series here for every region. Komai, for example, has a completely brand new roster. It's as exciting as Pokemon Unite Esports can possibly get.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You see a lot of these same things. Like, I mean, you look at like the NBA or whatnot, you look at a lot of these same teams, you look at the same rosters, you're like, all right, I see this player and we're playing this on every year or whatnot, or they're playing the same thing. They got a few new players, you're looking at the rookies, but this year, every year in Unite, it's like a lot of these top teams, yes, they've stayed together. Now stayed together for 4 years before going their separate ways now. And same with LG. LG's 4 years before they went their separate ways again. And it's one of those things where it's like, now you're seeing, again, it's the same players, but they're on different teams. There's different synergies. And now you're seeing different people shine. Like, you're seeing household names mixed with people you don't even recognize. Or you're recognizing them from other grassroots events. You're like, that's my boy! He was recognized!
That's so true. So true, buddy. And just a little update for you, chat. So, of course, as we get ready for Mia Familia versus Electro Drifters here, I love that name. We do, of course, have two teams that will play like promotional matches, like have a chance to qualify for the next stage of the UFC League. So we do obviously have teams that are currently in the league that are competing in this. So we want to make sure that teams that aren't in the league have a chance to join. So Mia Familia, Begot New, Thank You Next, for example, will have a chance to join the league even if they don't qualify from the groups, because we're here to really show off these teams and let them have the opportunity to join this league.
Oh, that's awesome to see and hear. But we're coming into the draft now. Blissey, Sableye, and Darkrai Band coming into Suicune, Mega Lucario, and Umbreon. We almost had the most powerful Pokemon of nothing picked, but we decided to opt for Umbreon instead. I say it's the most powerful because it's the only one you can ban 6 times.
Facts, and it's the only Pokemon that you can't see, and if you can't see something, how can you fight it? I think you're absolutely right, buddy, but Mia Familia pull out the Empoleon for the first pick. I mean, this is such a strong Pokemon right now. I love this from Mia Familia.
Yeah, despite the nerfs coming in, Empoleon's still fighting for that top there. Blaziken's up there, Mega Lucario up there. And the fact that all of these heavy nerfs on Empoleon came through and it's still performing the way it is just speaks to just how impactful this Pokemon is. But speaking of impactful, Latias is coming in, Tano.
I mean, buddy, they can get rid of that yellow background behind that Latias because it is an attacker. It does crazy damage on a support Pokemon. It's a great pickup here for Electro Drifters, and they're going to pull out the Clefable from I Am Sleeping. I mean, I wish I was. Will be very shortly, as Lola is going to pull out a Mr. Mime here for Mia Familia.
Oh, I love the Mr. Mime. Again, we're talking secret attackers and Latias. The Mr. Mime is the secret all-rounder coming through. Don't let that background spoil you, fool ya. Don't let that XP share fool ya. That thing is a menace. When he gets on top of you with Showtime, I'm telling you, Mr. Mime is looking at that Chandelure and be like, I'm coming for you.
It's so good, isn't it? Because that you don't expect it to do as much damage as it genuinely does. It's an absolute menace, and it's got the Assault Vest on here as well for Lola to reduce that damage coming in, that special attack damage. Toucan is going to pull out the Leafeon here as well. Blaxel with a Chandelure. We do not see this Pokemon much anymore, but very good. I'm actually really hoping we see the Flamethrower because I think that's very much underappreciated. Is that move?
It absolutely is. It's a high risk, high reward move. When you hit that, you get an instant cooldown basically. But if you miss it, that's a long cooldown to be on. So, but you do get it at level 5. And it is a little bit stronger than Overheat in my opinion there. But I think the resets are really good. We see Gardevoir run Future Sight all the time, and they manage to land those resets on it as well. And I think Chandelure, as long as you got the mad skills to pull it off, which I'm pretty sure Black Soul does. So, I mean, we're going to see a brilliant coming in here, and I'd love to see Flamethrower as well, Tano.
It's the 2-second cooldown when you hit something. It's ridiculous. It's such a strong ranged attack. I really hope we see it as we kick on into this game here, buddy, between these two teams. What I'm intrigued to see is Armor Rouge going to go for Fire Spin or Armor Cannon? I expect Armor Cannon because they don't really have any range without it.
Yeah, the only range is on that Chandelure, and even then, that is very limited. That is a very small, and it's like the very cusp of like what could be range there. And Latias isn't going to be too ranged either. So yeah, Armor Cannon could go very hard into this, but with that Moonlight off the Clefable, it might actually just be healed off.
Rightly so, as we see them all clashing on this bottom lane here. It's going to be the Leafeon and the Chandelure taking the central areas. Leafeon will, of course, come into the lane a lot quicker than the Chandelure will, and we already see Toucan looking to see if they can invade. Latias managing to take that farm away. This poor Lampent is sent back to Nurse Joy.
They got to their level 5. They did their full clear, and Leafeon came over to congratulate them, send them back, and said, do it again.
Give me those buffs. They are mine, even though I also have my own. And now they come to the bottom lane. And Electro Drifters are sent packing as this adorable Torchic has to use both Citrus Berries and is still looking for that Combustion stage.
but Lampin is now on the top side here. We do have that huge damage coming out there. It is fire, spin, armor rouge. They're looking for the Latios there. They're trying to go for it, but they're getting zoned out. Lampin is putting down the pressure with that overheat.
They are going all out on the side of Mia Familia with that fire spin. They have no range now. They're going to rely on the pressure as they do find more points raining in. We have an 80-point difference between these teams with the 8 minutes about to come through as we do see Black Soul trying to run, but they get chased down by Toucan. The Regidrago comes in and Electro Drifters are left reeling.
Yeah, normally when an objective spawns on the map, a team's there waiting for it, they're playing for it. But Leafeon was too busy looking at real estate and taking it away from the Lampet there to really say, you know what, we need the Drago. And again, they're keeping the pressure on. They're coming down. They're stopping these Electro Drifters from getting away with too many scores.
I'm loving the rotations from Toucan. This is exactly what you want to see from your central area speedster player because the lanes are not easy to beat already. You've got the Empoleon down here. You also have the Mr. Mime in the top side, so already difficult lanes to beat. And then you have Toucan just constantly going between the two lanes and grabbing the central area farm as well. Emerald two-step off the back of a triple KO. Look at the extended lead they are giving themselves here.
Yeah, 115 to 29, and you look at the levels, 9, 8, 7, 6, 8 versus quintuple sixes. We are massively ahead of Electro Drifters. We are shutting them down out of XP. So we got to find a way. We got 4 in the bottom lane here. Regilecki does get a little bit AoE experience there, but the Empoleon is here to say, put an end to those dreams. 1 down on the Lampet there. They're trying to go deep, but the Blazing goes for the overheat. They're getting on top of this Regilecki here. They're trying to take the Empoleon. Massive experience if they're able to take it. Can they get the KO? And they do!
It took them a lot to do so, though, as the Emerald two-step is going to come through, but a great defense here as Electro Drifters are going to take the Regilecki. They find a huge KO, but there's a damage raining down. Psycho Boom! That's enhanced by the power swap, and that is a lot of damage that Electro Drifters just can't answer to just yet, as Blaziken looks to nearly get obliterated. In fact, they do on the back of Toucan, and now Mia Familia, despite Electro Drifters having a brilliant moment of play there, have managed to dominate the bottom lane and break the pad.
But they just got a KO on a Leafeon there, level 10, massive experience going back their way. They're coming back and they're getting experience. Level 9 on Blaziken, level 9 on Chandelure. Chandelure does use its Ignite Midnight as soon as it came up, but Clefable does have the Wonder Wish. Blastoise goes down. This could be the push that they're doing. The Mist Blast KOs the Armor Rouge. It's Empoleon in a dream right now as Alcremie links up with them. They're going for scores and they're putting them in.
They do manage to stop the second set of scoring, but that was a brilliant approach by Electro Drifters. Wisely, they feel like they have to get out of this fight, and they absolutely do, because Nia is looking to dive on in. There goes the Sovereign Slide. They've got the power swap, and it's time for a show, says Mr. Mime as they come through, and they manage to find the hit onto Black Soul as they're sent back to Nurse Joy. Can they find the Blaziken, though, because they are very difficult to take down. The overheat gets ready to go, but they find it on the back of the Fire Spin Armor Rouge paired with Mime. Psycho Boom connects and finds the KO on Clefable. Mia Familia, every time they're on the back foot here, Hyde, they find a way out, and they find a way out with being really aggressive.
Yeah, and they are doing a great job. They have control of the map. They're keeping the levels up. They're still not as high as they used to be at the start of the match here, but they are still keeping control of that. Farm is still up. They're keeping good control of all of that, making sure that Tifa clears in the timers. Now they're going in. Leafeon does get KO'd there, so Mia Familia has to back out there. Meanwhile, Electro Drifters is going to be pushing in.
Ooh, overheat's not going to hit there either. Mia Familia has to go back to their pad, going for the defense here. Electro Drifters are going to find an extra bit of farm. They've got Unite moves ready to go. Nia is going to go score a 40 dunk into the T2 here and give themselves an even more extended lead. It's a Regice in the top lane. They're not that concerned about it. They're looking for the hits. Mistball is going to come through yet again, does connect through the piercing, and they do have the Fluffy Cream Supreme used here. Mia Familia no longer concerned, looking to go on in. They wisely decide not to. Overheat was already charged very hard. hard to hit against. And now Electro Drifters are looking for the approach, but Nia have to get in that 40. Duncan comes through. Sovereign Slide is going to connect, and now they're looking for the hits here. They're looking to find Larius. Showtime, says Mr. Mime, and they do find the KO onto it. Black Soul has to use their eject button here as they try to lock them out, but they're KO'd as well. And Mia Familia have taken out the damage of Electro Drifters, and all they can do is run and try and see if they can find this penguin.
Yeah, this Empoleon is doing a great job of staying out and trying to get away. They got everybody in on top of them. All they needed was the Whirlpool, and they go down. Leafeon's now in a spot of trouble. They're trying to get away. Blaziken is on their butts. They're on the behind. They're going for it, but they're getting a little bit too ahead of their team.
Yeah, right now you are so far in the lead, you don't want to give over experience that you don't want to give. Looking at the points, as we're a minute away from Groudon, Mia Familia, they just have to hold strong. Electro Drifters are looking for any advantage they can find, and if you go for a push here that you shouldn't really be going for, they are going to get the levels that they need. Trying to see if they can steal it is Galna Gunner, but they don't find it. The Regieleki is taken here by the Blaziken. They want to push onto the pad, though. This is a risky plan, but they're going for it anyway. Overheat's going to be here with the Regieleki dropping damage. It's currently 6v5 right now. Mia Familia just going to let it go in, let them get the points in. Yes, it's an overcap, but you still have a 100-point lead.
Yeah, exactly. 100 points. This is a cap with a T1 pad that could swing things massively in favor of Electro Drifters. Groudon in 15 seconds, and they're now not just ahead, or not looking for just ahead for points there, but they're looking to take a powerful position within the Groudon pit, possibly even flipping.
They very much got themselves back into this game right now, and they are dropping damage onto it, just trying to see if they can pull in Mia Familia. Niat here is going for the retreat, going for the flank rather. Sovereign Slide comes on through, and they connect onto Black Soul Buddy as they get ready with the Ignite. Midnight doesn't work. Emerald Two-Step's going to come on through, and they find it. Showtime, says Mr. Mime, and they've wiped out the damage of Electro Drifters right now. Blaziken is gone. Clefable's gone. Blastoise is going to fall, and it's all left to the Larius that looks to try and see if they can find the secure, but they absolutely can't. And with a minute 20 on the clock, Hyde, Mia Familia already have the lead.
They do have the lead. They got the buffs, but Chandelure is here. This might make the difference. Blaziken's now back, and they get to the jump pad in time. Not before this break. Now it's 200 points exactly. But with a minute and 10 seconds, they can still come back into this match. All they got to do is look for some good KOs. But Mia Familia is sticking together. They are sticking like a group because they're family.
That they are. A minute left on the clock. Has to try and get away on the side of this. Leafy on the chase from Clefable is insane as they find the KO. There is 200 points between them here, so this is a very smart play by Mia Familia. Leave them to go score in the home pad and continue to outscore Electro Drifters. And this is why I love the Groudon changes here, buddy. You would not see this level of play with a Rayquaza.
No, it would have been instant scoring for everybody coming through here. I know it's only supposed to be unstoppable scoring, but let's face it, unless you're a Tyranitar or an Urshifu, who's really going to stop those scores from going in?
Exactly, and now Electro Drifters are looking to see if they can get more in, but right now, the lead is too much by Mia Familia with 10 seconds left. And what an impressive show by these two teams. Mia Familia, they struggled a little bit earlier on, but right now, that was a dominant showing, buddy.
Yeah, it absolutely was. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love to see the bounce back from the team there. We almost had it, almost had that. But Mia Familia was just like, listen, we know what we want to do. And again, Mr. Mime, the secret all-rounder coming through. Showtime Psychic was just used at the most inopportune times for Electro Drifters. They were just every time coming in, they were just disrupted at every point. And I think this Mr. Mime was getting not enough credit from the system of the game, but I hope they are from their family.
That was just impressive, buddy. I mean, I did like the approach from Electro Drifters. I think they had a decent amount of damage. Black Soul was really managing to limit them in the early game. And I think White was very hard to take down on that Larius as well. They were very good at trying to dodge that damage, but it was just the oppression of not only Niat going on in with the assistance of Bortia Lola paired up, but Toucan was constantly all over Faya Sky Ruins, bottom lane, top lane, central area. Didn't matter where you were not safe from that Leafeon.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Electro Drifters did a fantastic job. I mean, they took control of the Groudon pit. They had the fight. They had all the tools in their repertoire to be able to take it down. It was just the bulk being able to shut them down on Bordy and Niats, because I'll tell you right now, when you got an Alcremie supporting you like that, when you got a Mr. Mime, oh my gosh. And honestly, Tano, I have to admit, at some point during this match, Leafeon's running around doing its thing, and we have Alcremie somehow keeping up with it. That is a dedicated supporter.
That it is. I gotta say though, what an impressive showing from Electro Drifters. They're a new team here, Hyde, and what a way to bounce back. And Mia Familia are a well-established team here in the EU season. So to see Electro Drifters go down so heavily, I mean, look at the time right now, 192 points to 72. Looking at the levels, did they bounce back or did they? The early game was all Mia Familia, but Electro Drifters, they really got themselves back in that.
They really did. And again, this is what I mean. Like, you see a lot of these new teams, they're coming up against Titans, household names, Fight Club's making household names. And you're seeing them come up and take games. You take these fights and bring them super close. And Electro Drifters had a lot of good plays. They recognized a lot of opportunities that they needed to take quickly, and they executed on those really well.
So 1 point to Mia Familia. Will Electro Drifters do enough to get themselves a point in the next game? How do they adjust to that as well? Because, I mean, Mia Familia, I thought their weakness was going to be that they didn't have any range there. But what I loved is that they had the pairing up. You had Lola pairing up on the side of the Maruj. You had the Alcremie pairing up on the side of Nia. And then you just had Toucan going around and doing whatever they wanted. So they weren't too concerned about the ranged attack because they had that sort of pocket healer for their melee attack going on in there. So good approach from Mia Familia. How do Electro Drifters answer to that?
Yeah, and that's the question coming in. These are Pokemon you're not going to see back into game number 2 for either team because Fearless Draft is in effect here. That means these 5 Pokemon on top of the 3 from the other team are going to be banned out for them coming into game 2. So you have to go back to the drawing board. You have to say, all right, what strategies are we now going to implement? What are we going to bring in? And when it's the last game of the set, you can't hold anything back.
It's a good job that Mia Familia went to go score those points in the home base, because I think if they didn't, that might have been Electro Drifters' game, buddy. They managed to score plenty, and if they found the KOs as well, they'd have continued to score more. So it's a good response from Mia Familia as they take game 1. But we have another game to come on up, and Electro Drifters, they look like a very exciting team here.
Oh my gosh, they are indeed. I'm excited to see what's coming out. We have Darkrai, that's very popular, very powerful right now. We have Blissey, very powerful. Latios, no more for them because that was, Latios, no more for them. That was also a very powerful Pokemon, but they could also adopt some of the strategies they just saw if that's what they've been working on. Alcremie on the table, Mr. Mime on the table. If they don't ban it out, Sableye on the table.
Something tells me you're a Sableye fan. I don't know what.
I'm definitely a little bit of a fan of the little gentleman, the little gremlin there. There's so much that they're able to do, and anybody that has the bravery to bring it into a match, I'm like rooting for you instantly.
I'm with you, buddy. My duo partner is a very good Sableye. I'm a speedster, so we work together so well in lane. So I'm actually with you 100% of the way. People don't realize not only is Sableye so good at scoring, crowd control, but he's also very tanky. Sableye can take a decent amount of damage consistently throughout the game.
Yeah, and not to mention the mental anguish it can create on the other team. The frustration that it's able to output, which is very important as well, because as much as this is a point-scoring game, as much as this is a brawling game, this is also very much a mental game.
You're absolutely right. As we get ready for the second game here, looking at the bans, Eldegoss Hooper by Mia Familia so far, the Mega Lucario Suicune by Electro Drifters as they get ready to ban out the Darkrai as well.
All right, 1 ban each for each team. The Darkrai's coming in. Come on, Mia Familia. Don't do me dirty on the Sableye. Let it come through. You got 1 ban, 10 seconds. You guys did it last time. Are we going to see it? 5 seconds to go. Come on, let's see it. Who you banning out? No!
I did see why hit in the chat saying who bans out Sableye. So I think me and Familiar recognize that that's exactly what Electro Drifters want to play.
Hey, listen, if you know someone on the other team is really good on the little guy, yeah, absolutely ban it out. Very valid ban. But I think this just goes to also reinforce of why you have to ban, how powerful Sableye can be. It's so good, you have to ban it out. You can't let it into any game, guys. It's the new Charizard X.
I'm so with you. How awesome would it be to have Mega Sableye coming into the game, mate?
Oh my gosh, it would be amazing. It would be such a really tanky supporter there. It would have been so good to come in. I mean, we still have 2 more Megas. We don't have them confirmed yet. We might have them data mined. I can't remember, but it could happen. It could happen.
And we don't have a support Mega confirmed yet either, so that would be pretty damn good. But looking at the picks so far, Whitehit is going to bring out the Mimikyu here. Very good response to Niat being on the Mew, but very early to pick it as well, because it can be countered, as Mia Familiar look to see Slowbro coming onto the field, and it looks like it is going to be the Venusaur, and that is one good counter for the Mimikyu if you go Pedal Dance.
Yeah, Pedal Dance Venusaur is very devastating, very powerful. It did recently get a nerf, I believe, or was it the Solar Beam build? No, it was Solar Beam build. Oh, so this is untouched. We're coming in, we're going untouched. And we do have the incense on that as well, which is going to help curb the self-healing from the Snorlax and the Ho-Oh there, as well as any sort of wishes Umbreon is looking to grant.
I gotta say, I mean, Mia Familia, one of my favorite teams anyway. They have some of my favorite players, Niat being one of them, but Electro Drifters here are so exciting. I like the comp they're pulling out here, buddy. We have the Dragapult, which of course did get the buffs. We've got Ho-Ho coming out that we never see anymore. Their supporter is going to be the Umbreon. I love Electro Drifters and the comps they play. It's very unusual and very exciting.
I'm here as well. This is giving me huge. I think if the team was like MMYS or whatnot, they go to World, they run only tanks. That's amazing. Yeah. So I'm absolutely here for it. And yeah, we got triple tanks. We got Mimikyu, Dragapult. We got a huge Ripper. This could be a rip and flip for all I know, because Dragapult is the Ripper and the Secure at the same time. X attack, scope lens coming in, massive damage. And that is the way to counter a Pedal Dance Venusaur, as if it's going to out-sustain you, just burst it to nothing.
Yeah, especially pairing it with the Mimikyu, and that's what I like about this approach from Electro Drifters. Their early game is so good, having those free tanks, and you also have the Mimikyu, which is great for the early to mid game, and then you've got a Dragapult to burn through your opponent in the late game. That is actually a rather well-balanced comp that Electro Drifters has brought out.
Now, the question is, can they get there while keeping the momentum? Because one of the things that is a crux with Dragapult, or was a negative with Dragapult, is it's being able to set it behind. We do have tools on the side of Mia Familia to possibly even invade. So if we do send it into the jungle, the Dragapult there, that might be an option, is to invade it to keep it behind even further.
Yeah, and I do like the pickup of the Cinderace. I think that's going to be a great shout here for Mia Familia, because in that late game, boy, does that rip through tanks. So that is a good shout by them as we kick off this second game here. Buddy, Mia Familia are currently a point up. Electro Drifters are looking to even it out.
Yeah, and we're going to see Ho-Oh Umbreon into the top, but not just any Ho-Oh, carry Ho-Oh coming into the top here. And we're going to see Snorlax Mimikyu going to the bottom here with a nice tackle on the Snorlax. We don't get both, but we get one as Mimikyu goes for the score.
Yeah, that is a good effort by Electro Drifters. They get a stack already onto Mimikyu. Niat's looking to see if they can push on in. They use the Muted Auto with the Electro Ball. Does a decent amount of damage, but this is it with Snorlax. Look at how much it can do in these early lanes, but it is the Pokemon to take these lanes.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and it's running it down the clock there. That's just wasting time. You want to follow me? You want to come grab the KO? Well, sure, but it's going to take you an awful long time to do it. 9 minutes on the clock now, which means 10 seconds until our Altaria Swablues come in. But the pressure from Electro Drifters into the top is almost oppressive. Poor little Rabu cannot keep up.
They steal the citrus berry as well. I'm so surprised it's Dragon Dance, and that is an interesting decision, and I like it from Electro Drifters. Of course, they don't have to be concerned about mean look because they have it on the side of Electro Drifters. That is a brilliant decision. Of course, the only thing that can really get it now is going to be the slow bro, maybe pulling it out with a blaze kick, but you force that move onto that Cinderace. That is such an interesting choice for Electro Drifters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love to see it because I'm here for it. And as we now see the Mimikyu's coming in, trying to take down the Slowbro here, but it's just too much damage, too much sustain. The double wombo combo for the 2 KO streak, not for the Mew, but the Slowbro.
Pink blobs on top here in the bottom lane, buddy, as Mia Familia find a way to break through the oppression of Snorlax. Regidrago comes onto the field. We're going to see the Dragon Ball going for the rip here as Black Soul gets close to it, but we do have the approach from Mia Familia. They have to come down here and provide some assistance. There goes the Electro Ball, tries to dodge out of the way. The boost, it connects as well, and that is too much with the burn coming in from Cinderace, and they're sent back to Nurse Joy.
How many odd times do you see somebody get KO'd from a burn? Not just any burn, but a Cinderace burn. Doesn't happen often because he usually finishes the job, but when you get away on one, oh my gosh. But Mia Familia is moving into the top here. It is 2 tanks versus Cinderace and that Mew. Mew is going to go down here. That's going to leave Cinderace taking down the Umbreon. It's a 1v1. We have a little bit of a twisty-turny there from the Ho-Ohs. It's trying to spread the flames of fire, but it's not going to happen as Cinderace takes the 2 KO.
Pyro Ball is doing absolute bits here on the Cinderace. Toucan finds the KOs onto the defenders. Electro Drifters aren't able to score down in this bottom lane anymore because now they've got the Slowbro online. Pedal Dance Venu comes in as well, and they may have a Snorlax on their side, but there goes the passive, there goes the focus band, and they have to retreat right now. Mia Familia have done enough to get their power spikes and not be too concerned about these defenders anymore.
Oh my gosh, the escape that Snorlax just made, that comes from only knowing the map really well, knowing the timers a little bit well, and getting a little bit of luck on your side too. Dragapult going to secure this Regieleki as it takes down the Venusaur with the Umbreon. They got to get some sort of score in to stop the Regieleki from breaking here, and they're going to do it! They're pushing tier 2!
That they are. Dreep and Destroy ready to come in as well. They're going to obliterate the approach from Mia Familia. There goes the Flaming Bicycle Kick. Regieleki teetering on the edge here as they look for the KO onto the Venusaur, but Giga Drain too good. Verdant Anger Shotgun to the face, but Dragapult finds the KOs yet again. Electro Drifters are going to have to go on the retreat here as Umbreon does fall on the back of that Blissey. But a good offense from Electro Drifters, just feeling out what Mia Familia are going to bring at them, and they had to use a lot of Unite moves to defend that.
Oh, could have brought them back at that point as well, but it's also a smart decision not to do that. If you know you're outgunned, you know you're outmanned, you gotta sometimes just say, you know what, now is not the time for it. But down in the bottom lane here, we're gonna be moving in. We're just grabbing up a little bit of wild Pokemon. These birds were absolutely demolished up in both lanes.
It's just going to be a constant brawl in both lanes here. Look at it. Both of these teams are in opposite lanes, just battling each other. Free at top for Electro Drifters, free at bottom for Mia Familia. They do finally retreat from the top lane brawl. They're going to try and see if they can get down into this bottom side. If Black Soul gets there quick enough, they're going to find some quick KOs. But no, Mia Familia have gone for the retreat wisely, knowing there's 20 seconds before this bottom Reggie comes in.
Yeah, and again, there's no dots on the map, so you know another brawl is incoming here. The Slow Beam is now coming out here to lock down the Mimikyu. Venusaur's going to grab that KO as Dragapult goes down to the Mew. Getting absolutely rocked. Umbreon is on the skate path there as Snorlax peels for them, but it's 3 tanks in a dream against 3 attackers in a vision.
The thing is, Toucan's Cinderace here, it does damage so quickly that even when you're flying by on that Dragon Dance, you are getting half health. Good block here, trying to see if they can stop them getting for the approach, but no, Mew is going to find it with the Electro Ball anyway. Reggie's still buffed now for Mia Familia. Now they want to push on in. It is going to be Pedal Dance Venu. We have a raid boss online here, Hyde, as they take down Ho-Ho as well. And Mia Familia are going to break this score lead. We're getting a tasty overcap in this bottom T1.
And that raid boss is about to get a patch there, because that is going to get upgraded to an even bigger radius onto that pedal dance. Mimikyu's going to lock it in with the play with me, but the pedal dance still goes off. Lots of damage coming out there as we're now 1-2 KOs now down for the Cinderace, with the third going to the Vino, and a fourth going to Cinder. 1, 2, 3, 4 down as Electro Drifters rips Regieleki.
This was my concern about the comp on the side of Mia Familia now, though, because they have their power spikes, buddy. As we get a minute and a half away from Groudon coming onto the field, we've got level 13 on this Venusaur. It's now raid boss levels. We've got level 13 on this Cinderace, which can obliterate the defenders on the side of Electro Drifters. They have to play around this Dragapult big time. Those Creep and Destroys are going to be the only way that they can win these team fights. You have to protect Black Soul.
You absolutely were right. They have to keep that up because that is their main form of damage. Mimikyu isn't really much of a ripper on its own, especially when you got 3 tanks. You got to look for a way to find into this fight. Either look for picks or, again, to protect that Dragapult during the rip, because that is also going to be your main secure.
Yeah, the thing is, Mimikyu, their only target now can be Mew or Cinderace. Look how strong the rest of these Pokemon are. Everything has to be thrown at this Venusaur. Finally, it goes down, but Dragapult is taken in return, and all of a sudden, you don't have any rip on the side of Electro Drifters. They have managed to give themselves a decent lead here, though. At least I say decent. It's very close between these two teams, but the lead, nevertheless, they have, as 25 seconds before Groudon is in the field. Registeel is back on here. They have managed to isolate Galmagunna here on the side of this Slowbro. They're going to get back into their own field, but a lot of damage they've lost. Mimikyu finds the KO. They have to go for this rip right now. 10 seconds left before Groudon's on the field. This is going to be the final fight.
This is it right here. The Solar Beam's coming up from the Mew. The Snorlax's going to get taken down. Mimikyu's looking for the last hit, but it's the Cinderace that secures it. Heals, shields, and a buff goes to Mia Familia as we get the Ballista Assist onto the Venusaur, taking down the Umbreon. 3 members now down for Electro Drifters, but they're not done yet. Mia Familia zoning out the Ho-Oh, knowing just how dangerous it can be, while the rest of them take the Groudon and just say, hey, we need to get this guy off the field.
That was a good effort from Snorlax. I like them coming on in and trying to see if they can get the heavy slam onto the Groudon, but Mia Familia just dominated that. As soon as they locked in that KO onto the Registeel, the Electro Drifters were on the back foot. They even used the Unite move just to find the KO onto Umbreon, and now you no longer have that healing coming on in for Electro Drifters. They've taken this objective. They want to push and get some more points here into this T2. Snorlax trying to defend it, but the damage is just ridiculous coming out from Toucan.
Yeah, the damage is insane as it's coming out here. We're going to get another KO on the Mimikyu, 415 to 132, and it's all but over. There is not enough timers, not enough manpower, not enough points on the board in order for them to claw their way back.
I gotta say, I very much enjoyed Black Soul here on the Dragapult. I think it was brilliant. I think the difficulty was Mia Familia had a Cinderace and a Venusaur with Pedal Dance Giga Drain. I think that's the problem, because these defenders, they were not able to stay on their feet long enough. The rip and the damage from Mia Familia, it was way too much. You pair that with Niat being on the Mew and consistently dropping those Electro Balls and Beams. Electro Drifters didn't stand a chance with their defenders, but what a brilliant effort they've put into this set.
Yeah, and it's this type of creative play, too, that is what's made me falling in love with the EU region, because a lot of this stuff, like, we're breaking away from the standard norms, from the standardized play. We're finally finding our groove coming in and just messing with Pokemon. We're saying, does this combo work? Does this combo work? Yes, it absolutely does. Well, we got steamrolled on this one. Now we just got to go back in, make a minor pivot. Does Guja work here? Maybe it's Greedent in here because it also can work with Mimikyu to get into the back lines. Who knows? There's so many possibilities, and I love to see what Electro Drifters is going to bring the next time we see them.
Yeah, they're a very exciting team. A humongous shout out to Electro Drifters as a new team, as a production confirmed for us. I think that was impressive. I very much enjoyed watching them. A huge shout out to that squad. I cannot wait to see what more they can bring. Of course, no matter who comes first or second here in this league, we are in this open series, they will be an opportunity for teams that are not currently in the league to join it. The top 2 will have that choice. So Mia Familia and Electro Drifters do have that opportunity to do exactly that. But we can't take away from how dominant Mia Familia were in this set. 126k damage for Borsy, 158 for Toucan, Niat with 114. Great team balance there on the side of Mia Familia.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll tell you right now, despite the massive damage numbers on Mia Familia, despite the massive damage taken on the side of Electro Drifters, the fact that Black Soul only took 51k, only got 11% of the damage, just speaks to just how hard they were to lock down during those fights.
100%. A brilliant effort by them. And you are exactly right, buddy. The attack on the side of Mia Familia, it was such a bad matchup for Electro Drifters. So to do as well as they did and to just take 51k damage by Black Soul, that was a brilliant effort, buddy. Very much enjoyed that from both squads. I just think this has been a very exciting open series as we have a look at these highlights.
Yeah, and again, this is where Electro Drifters really shine. They had the Regieleki going with them. They're pushing this T1 pad or T2 pad here. They're doing great. They got the Umbreon Moonlight coming in. They're doing a great push, but this Venusaur is just the raid boss that you said it was. It's a beast.
It is, but as soon as you hit those higher levels, it's just so hard to take it down. You have to use so many resources to do just that. It's another reason I love Fire Spin Armor Rouge, and then you're going to be happy with that. If they have to use 3 or 4 Unite moves just to take one Pokemon, you're going to win that matchup all day long. It was a brilliant response from Mia Familia to bring these two out into the comp that they were coming up against. And I got to say, it was very hard for them to find Toucan. Look at the rip that they pull out with this Pyro Ball.
Yeah, look at, like, again, they're just shredding it down. They're taking the Snorlax. They get the tip onto that Registeel, lock it in, and that is the momentum. Yes, it's a very powerful objective that you want to get, but when you're at the wire and you're relying on the heals and the shields and everything else from taking that objective, I don't think you should be ripping it at that point. I think you should just be focusing on the other team, because if they take it on you, then that's the swing that goes against you. And I think that might have been what really clutched it out for them, was not just because they took the fight there, but because of the momentum Registeel gave to Mia Familia.
Oh, you're absolutely right, buddy. They were already really ripping through the field of Electro Drifters. To then have a Registeel buff is just devastating, mate. So that was just the sort of nail in the coffin there, as Mia Familia managed to come through pretty rosy off the back of that one. But Electro Drifters, they put up a brilliant fight. And we do need to have a nosy at where our current groups are looking. We're just asking for production to bring up that group graphic so we can see who's got the wins, who's got the losses, and have a look at the standings. Ooh. Over on Group 2, Big or New here with 5 wins, 1 loss. By the way, Lost Heroes currently are number 1 in the UFC, so no wonder they've put up a great show in here. Big or New are not in the UFC yet. They are in LFPU. They're currently undefeated over there. Here, they only lost the 1 game. A brilliant effort by them. Thank you. Next, Ranger out next. I might want to get that checked, because that's... oh, wait. That's one win, 2 losses. Production, can we check that? Is that wrong? Right? I think that's the other way around. Like Los Catacadas, right? Surely 4 wins, 5 losses. Wait, production, can we... 4-2, thank you next. Okay, so it's 4-2, thank you next. Thank you so much, production, as they take that second spot, buddy. So I believe going through to Thursday, Lost Heroes, MTC Esports, who are currently in the UFC, Bigonu, thank you next, who are not yet in the UFC. And you do not want to miss any of that action, chat. Rounding it out, Mia Familia, they end up with a 3-3 record with a brilliant fight there in that final one. Electro Drifters didn't get a win, but for a first showing, it was a brilliant one. And they really pushed some big teams here. Everyone in their group is a big name that everybody knows to the edge. Over on the side of Group 2, No Follow with a 2-4 record and a 4-5 record for Los Caracados. I'm not sure if they're right, but nevertheless, they are two massive teams as well, buddy. And I think this has been a bit of an upset that Bigonu and Thank You Next, who are currently not in the UFC, have defeated Los Caracados and No Follow in that group. Bro, the game between Bigonu and Los Duros would feed families for weeks. What a game that is going to be if we get to see it. I really hope so, but that is going to be it here for the Mid-Season Open Series group stage. We will be back on Thursday for, of course, the finals. Do not miss that action. And as a reminder, the top two teams that are not currently in the league will have the opportunity to join the league through promotional matches, chat. So you don't want to miss any of that action, as we hope that we come back onto the screen so you can see our beautiful faces and we can do our final thank yous. I want to give a huge thank you to my co-casters here today, Lobo all the way from Australia, and the incredible Hyde here, who I don't actually know, but I'm assuming Canada from that beautiful accent that you've got. I love it. I love it.
Southern Canada right here. We are here. Yeah. Well, for whatever constitutes as the South in Canada. But yeah, absolutely Canadian. And it's great to be here casting in the EU with Utano and with Lobo earlier. It's been amazing. I got to meet Fu the other day as well. And you guys are amazing. And I'm looking forward to so many more, guys. This is not the last you've seen to me for Fight Club.
That makes me very happy. I look forward to having you back on the mic. Thank you so much for being here in chat, being in and talking to us in the chat. We love it. Well, all the teams that have participated so far as well. And of course, all of our production behind the scenes, the incredible Bina on the cams. We've got Arpit on production, Yash for being our beautiful mod. We've got Zen being the manager of production. And of course, the absolute legend that is Zenith being the founder and creator of INGAGE GG. A huge shout out to all of those as we get ready to head on off. I'm going to go to bed. I got work tomorrow, guys. So have a beautiful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Later.